Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to watching me probably have an accident or 7 in today's race. You've joined me just in time. We're watching the warm-up. Sorry, I'm trying to actually figure out how to do all the controls and stuff so we can actually watch this race in real time. Welcome everybody. This is the unofficial second stream for the race, and what we are doing here is checking out all of the action so far. I'm actually going to try and get the commentary up at the same time. It could be problematic and it may break everything, but
Attack!
what we're going to do is see if it all works. Sorry, we're going to probably have a couple of frame drops here because I'm trying to do an awful lot at the same time. Sven Maynard, I am racing in the Aston Martin. It's going to be messy. I'm racing at 8 PM tonight. And what we're watching now is the pace lap. They are doing a full pace lap. And we're going to see how this all goes. Where's my cell phone? It's over here. Alright, we are slowly getting there. Sorry guys, I'm trying to get everything up and running here. Let me open my chat so I can actually see what everybody's saying. We've got Wilkin in first place, Leisha in third. I don't know what happened to second place. We seem to have lost the second place racer. Not sure what happened there. And we are waiting for this silly thing to load. Had a couple of dropped frames earlier, but we seem to be getting there. Let's get the event list up here. You can also watch the proper race with commentary on our website. We have that up and running as well. Okay, we are getting there, ladies and gentlemen. We've got that running. We've got this running. Let's get some commentary going. Oh, it's getting a bit messy around here. I don't know what's going on here. Guys are warming up. Let's see if we can get this to work without killing all of my internet. Matthew Wright with a like. Michael Cornbow the second with a like. George Postu with a follow. And I've got some very broken things going on here. Let's see now. Can we get some audio here? And we're going to try and have to get the timing right as they go across the line to kick off. We're going to stick with number 3, Mr. Lesher, into this first corner.
Give it all you can.
And here they go. Green flag is a go.
Attack!
Ooh, he's fighting hard. It's going to get messy into this first corner. Is there going to be any crashes? Not that I can see so far. All actually looks fairly clean. Oh, one guy at the back. Krobler's gone around. Sherat number 2 for some reason did not start the race. Back with Wilkin in front. Very close racing. Porsches for days, as everyone can see. Let's see what happens if we turn on this audio.
You can share it in the 20.
Alright, we're actually seeing slightly ahead of everyone else, which is going to be interesting. For some reason, they're far behind us. So if you want to see before anyone else sees, you can check it out here. There seems to be pretty low quality. So we are your go-to place if you want to watch the race. Come to us. We got Wilkin on 0 laps. 2.47 seconds ahead. I'm just going to hide the HUD. I don't know what the hide a HUD button is.
Attack!
Do I have a button here? No. Let's check it out from the helicopter cam.
Attack!
So I'll be racing at 8 o'clock. Sorry if it's a bit unorganized at the moment. I'd love to get you guys some commentary, but I don't really know what's happening with the commentary at the moment. Roll call racing waiting. Heno Peters, Richard Daly, Benjamin Hearthstone. Richard Daly with the 50 stars. Thank you so much. Didn't see them coming up. Okay. Apparently they need to restart the race. A lot of people have had issues. I did think this was going to happen in the first race. But let's see what happens. This is probably going to throw off all the timings. I'll be jumping into my race about 15 minutes before it starts. But what I'll do is I'll have the other races showing in a little window. But Kheri Usman, how are you doing? Alright. Guys are talking. Not sure what's going on here. Oh, lots of things are coming through here. Kheri Usman, James Harris. Thank you very much for all the likes. I'm trying to actually get this solidarity. My poor PC is dying while it's trying to do all of this streaming and everything all at once. Luckily, it hasn't dropped any frames. We're actually looking pretty.
Fantastic development this is.
Oh, thank you, Arlo. We've got all these likes and stars and everything coming through here. Wilkins pulling ahead. Let's see a bit further back who we got here. This is a very close race here between Brum and Henneberry. In the Bentley, I'm voting for all the guys not running Porsches or Audis tonight. These guys are the guys we want to see. I wish I could hide this HUD stuff, but I don't actually know what all the buttons are. I've got spectator mode. I'll just continue here. What's happening here? Got a really good race here between the Porsche and the Bentley. Come on, Bentley! You got the best sound out of pretty much every car. Sven Maynard saying good luck. Thank you very much, buddy. I'm sorry if I'm not talking too much. I'm really trying to get everything up and running here. Let's see if we can open this up here. Their stream seems to be coming and going quite a lot, so let's see if it is running up and running again. Got 165 people watching, which is pretty good.
Fantastic development this is.
What's the settings? I don't want 720p, I want 144p, thank you.
Starting down in 25th place overall.
Oh, we got a great pass there. Byron Mitchell getting past Kruger. So it really worked for him. He took a tight line going through into Leopold, but he managed to make it work, coming through the Crocodiles and then, of course, into Ingwe. So fantastic racing here. And there we go, Mitchell. Byron Mitchell now in 9th place. He's now in 8th place and he goes over. So terrific racing.
Sash, have a look at the background there. In normal racing, you're allowed to make one evasive maneuver. There was about 7 or 8 evasive maneuvers down that main straight, but left, right, you're not coming through.
Well, and the great thing about it is that these guys are so experienced at doing this kind of racing. They know that that's going to happen. Great move from the Aston Martin, number, 54. Bernard King.
Up there nicely. Bernard King
through past the Lamborghini. So a terrific drive there. Goes up into 9th place. So Kruger having all sorts of problems. He's lost 2 places. Mitchell now up to 8th position as well. In our first team, just under 10 minutes to go of our first
amazing
semi-final.
race action here. I can't believe how good this is. I didn't think it was going to be this good. But these guys are behaving nicely. They're putting in some good
Andre
lap times
Schroeder,
here.
how you doing,
the laps
buddy?
are looking good. They are behaving, and they're doing exactly what we wanted in terms of giving us some
Sorry
great
that the
action here
audio is
from Kyalami
slightly
Grand Prix
behind.
Circuit. And this is kind
They're
of
about
exactly what we saw
a minute or
only
so
a couple of months ago
behind me.
at the actual 9 hour. So the race action there is probably just as good, if not better, because the only difference is that we got perfect conditions compared to the torrential downpour that we've got outside, but not actually physically on the track right now.
Oops. Spilling my coke
We were on
here.
board with Mark Henry. I tell you what,
Cole
after this,
Smith.
he's got Peters right behind him. Those two battling for fourth and fifth. There's a bit of a gap between
that was almost a
Brummer
crash
and
there.
Henry in third and fourth. So
Can you guys hear the
pushing
commentary?
each other to try and get closer to Brummer. But all they really want is to finish in the top six.
Let's just see what we can do.
Henry's putting the pressure onto Brummer there. Brummer's starting to feel it as they head down towards Crowthorne turn 2. In the background, though, as you said, Peters is starting to close things down there. He's only 1.1 seconds off there. And if the pressure continues between these two, as it does on a normal racetrack, you're going to see the two of them start to slow each other down. And if they start to slow each other down, Henry and Brummer are going to feel that pressure from the two Audis of Peters and Hinop.
Trying to
Thomas just behind
link
that,
up
and
the
Byron
side.
Mitchell with King and Kruger still fighting for 9 and 10th. But this is a fantastic battle here for third place between a Porsche 911 GT3R and that incredible Bentley.
Yeah, I must have had a bit of brain fade. I was looking for car number 108, but then I realized that that's just on the front of the car. But Henry, yeah, and I agree with you, because if Henry starts slowing down a little bit, Peters, Henoff are all going to get close to them. Watching Lareo's progress as well from 11th, he's only a second behind Kruger. So, sure, all to play for. Anything can still happen with 8 minutes to go.
Loving this as they head down the mine shaft now, the Pure Storage mine shaft down into Crocodiles. You can see just how hard Brummer's having to work here. I don't think he's ever worked this hard in a Porsche before. He normally drives front-wheel drive cars. He's a spectacular front-wheel driver in South African motorsport. But now in this incredibly powerful Porsche, he's had to get to grips with it over the last 6 days. He's decided this is his choice of steed for the next couple of days, tonight and tomorrow night. And of course, you picked up on that 108 on the Bentley. Remember, with that Bentley team, they ran 108 and 107. Pepper's car actually is 107, and they put that on the grill so that it makes it easier for the guys to stop. But of course, the Matt Bentley running the number 38 on the side. So the 38 special there of Henbury closing in on the back end. Here's the leader. We haven't really seen the Hulk. And of course, I go with the Hulk because it's in my colors, lime green and purple. That's my colors for sure in terms of the Hulk that I support as my favorite Avenger. But it looks like Charles Wilkin is putting that Porsche to some smashing ability.
Yeah, he's just driving wonderfully smoothly, and he's pulled out the gap now to 2 seconds to Devin Leisha, just on 2 seconds. I saw a little bit of track limit cheater, by the way. So, got to watch out for our artificial intelligence. Charles Wilkin doing a 1 minute 40.7, which is pretty close to what these guys were doing in their qualifying.
Yeah, looking at the qualifying times, that would have put him in about 12th place, incredibly. His original qualifying time was a 1 minute 40.3. But to go back to what you're saying, Sash, you're spot on. It's basically saying that he is on qualifying lap times as his average lap times at the moment. And we didn't expect that. We're a bit further back here. You can see Jason Kutsia. Here's a young Carter who's also stepped up into the Utsinga Polo Cup for the first time this season and is now in a battle of note with Van Vyk and Richardson right behind him. Gary Richardson slowly but surely trying to put a bit of pressure onto the youngster and hopefully get him to fold.
Yeah, and he's got Isherwood in front of him in the Honda, and it seems to be holding him up a bit because he's losing quite a bit of time. So these guys are going to have to start being a little bit more aggressive if they want to try and get into the top six. They've got quite a lot of time to make up. But I think the guy to watch is Skrobler at the moment, because Skrobler is right on the back of Kruger. Porsche versus Lamborghini. Kruger seemed to have lost a little stride and dropped down to Mitchell and to King. So there we go, having a look at those two racing against each other. So terrific. And
probably being closed down here by the looks of things by the Lamborghini, Sash. Yeah, that Lamborghini is definitely closing on the back end of Probler. So the Porsche and the Bull fighting hard here, big time. And it looks like that Kruger is looking to try and regain positions he lost earlier on in the race.
I tell you, Jordan Sheriff, unfortunately, 5 laps down, so he had all sorts of technical issues. Looking further down the grid here as well. The guys who unfortunately aren't going to make it to that final. But yeah, they're still going out there and giving it as much as they can. But Peters is only 0.8 of a second behind Henry, and we're watching Peters at the moment. Oh, look at that. Gets a great line as they go now into down the mine shaft. And this is going to be interesting coming into Crocodiles. This is going to be interesting coming into Crocodiles. Can he dive him on the inside? It's blocked out there by the Bentley. He might try the undercut coming through at the inside. Great driving. Oh, but also brilliant defensive driving from Henry in the as well. Superb stuff.
That's a big beast to be throwing around, and you won't find it easy to get past it, that's for sure. And Betty's got probably at least half a wheel length in terms of its ability in length overall over the Audi that we're on board with right now. This is Peters' point of view across the line and starting another lap. We got just under 4 minutes to go.
I think he's going to get it, Greg. I think he's going to do that. Great on the brakes there. Can he hold it going into they are side by side?
That's brilliant.
And into the Yuxcase Street. This is terrific driving from the Bentley and the Audi. And it seems that Audi is just brilliant under braking. Can he do anything going now into a sunset? He seems to. He lost a little bit of time there, so lost his line. So let's see what happens when he goes into Clubhouse. But
he comes into sunset at the moment. And now late on the brakes into Clubhouse. Very late on the brakes there in the Audi. It's good stuff there, Sash. It really is. But you can see the Bentley just seems to have the turn of pace coming out of the corners. It looks like the squirt on the Bentley is a little bit better than the Audis. And remember, the Bentley would probably be a rear-wheel drive car as opposed to the Quattro system in that Audi. So even that comes into play in e-racing as much as it does in normal circuit racing as well.
Yeah, I must be honest, I think the Audi had a bit of an issue coming out of Barbecue, and from there he just lost a tremendous amount of traction. He seems to be making it up a little bit coming down the mine shaft again. Will he be able to get close through into the Crocodiles? The Bentley seems to have the legs. He's going to have to be patient. He's only got 2.5 minutes left. So can Hilton Peters do anything to Henbury? Let's go down to 18th position. We are on board with Steve McCarthy. He was the 100th qualifiers, up in 18th position, right on the back of the Italian Mario Passetti. So another great battle. Doesn't matter where you are in the field, Greg, you're still racing for position, you're still racing for pride.
Yeah, and if you look just behind them, you're going to see Schneider, Thomas, and Vanna Jabir. Now, Vanna Jabir, remember we mentioned him earlier on. He, of course, is the man from the TGN Racing Simulators. Looks like he might have been in trouble a bit earlier on. Schneider now getting up close and personal. But Vanna Jabir just off the back and running a bit wide there. That's not what you want to be doing. Keep it on the black stuff. There are track limitations that you're allowed to use, and they will be watching that from our virtual racing control. And if you do exceed those race limitations, they will extend those penalties we spoke about earlier on. But this is a great battle. McCarthy, Schneider, and Passetti going at it.
Yep. Unbelievable. And Passetti, I think, was very, very wide. I think McCarthy's going to get him up on he's going to try to go on the outside, going into turn number 2, Crowthorne.
Out of Crowthorne corner now. It's a left-hander at the new version of the circuit. The old version of the circuit was a right-hander. He's got him. Perfectly done. Just timed that and got the lines right. With the new version of Kyle Army, Sash, I know you've driven on a few occasions. It's just oodles of room to play with. And the same thing applies here. There's actually too many lines and too many options to take for a lot of racing drivers when they get you. And even some of the guys from the Kyle Army 9 Hour and from the Intercontinental GT Championship were saying that they were actually puzzled with the amount of laps, amount of space that they've got and the different options they've got in various corners, particularly down at Crowthorne.
Yeah, very much a Crowthorne, very much into the Crocodiles as well. We're going up to Werner Hessop, who's in 6th position. That's where he wants to stay. He has got a little bit of a gap ahead of Mitchell, but he's chasing Peters. The further up the grid he can get into the final, he can do it. We seem to be on the last lap here, Greg, because we've only got 28 seconds left. So Sean Wilkin racing out there. What does a guy like Hinop do? Does he try and go for 5th, or does he just consolidate and not make a mistake and make sure he gets the top 6?
I think at this stage he's got a big gap, so I think he's probably going to try and control it now. Then we can see Charles heading into sunset, but Hinop is going to have to control that. He cannot afford to make a mistake because Byron Mitchell will definitely pounce. The young man from single-seater racing down in Cape Town, we had a chat to him in one of our very first shows. He was so fired up to try and make the final. and it looks like he's going to just miss out there to the tune of about 0.6 of a second. So he's going to be pushing it to the limit. As we can see, Charles Wilkin taking it real easy with a 2.5 second gap now in the Hulk as it heads up to the top of the hill and to Leeuwkop. Nice helicopter shot here. This is our virtual helicopter, of course, coming out of our EFX Productions team. I'm not quite sure who's piloting this. It might be Stringfellow Hawk who's at the helm here, or maybe it's Alistair Brown from NAC Helicopters. I don't know. It could be either.
Yeah, I think it could be the crazy man Clint Buckham, who must be
Buckham. Yeah, in fact, yeah,
could be Buckham find that as well. But man, this is coming to the end of the first semi-final race. Charles Wilkin leading from the pole position, not really having too many issues. Lisha pushed him a little bit, but a very controlled and excellently executed a race from Charles Wilkin. His fastest time of 140.7, and he was doing a 141.2. So he's been very, very consistent. Congratulations, Charles Wilkin, ahead of Devin, Lisha.
Look at this, you're not waiting for the top 6 here. Look at that. You can see Byron Mitchell closing right in on him on the last part here, Sash. Heading to the line for 6th place, the very vital position to be in at the end of semi-final number 1. Hinop just hangs on. Oh, and look at that, to the tune where did Byron Mitchell, 0.8 of a second behind him. Byron Mitchell loses out a top 6 position, and that was top class. You could see it coming to the line as well. Brilliant action right the way through and all the way down. This is for the 13th place. Lucky for some, onto the back end of the Honda. Can he find a way past?
Oh, I don't think he'll be able to get past by the line, but terrific driving. You've got to say Mitchell's got to be so unlucky in position 7. I mean, he doesn't make it into the final. However, at one stage, he was 5 seconds behind Hinop and made it up all on the last lap. So the other guys were taking a little bit easy, and Mitchell nearly caught them. But what a brilliant first semi-final race. There we go. There is your lead. 23
I love
races.
the way they all just pull onto the side of the track now to hit the eject button there, which is on the console in front of them, and return to the pit box. But there's a couple of guys doing some donuts as well. That's what we love. Come on, stay with that, director. Stay with the donuts.
That's what we like to see.
Don't worry, we'll find somebody who's doing some more.
Well, that was interesting.
Porsche, Bentley, Audi. That's our first
Glad to see that the Bentley made it through.
For tomorrow's solidarity.
Do you think that they might have had a chat to Toby Fenter to have 3 Porsches at the top 3 there in semi-final number 1, huh? I think we need to try and get hold of him tomorrow, and maybe we can have a chat to him. He'll be pretty stoked with that.
I think he'll be very happy.
Turn these guys off here. Let's quit out here. There's not much is going to happen there. Let's see what these guys have to say here.
There was non-stop right the way, even down into the 21st place positions fight there. So it's kind of what we have hoped would happen. The guys seem to behave themselves. I did see a couple of penalties being implied there, which we don't really have to worry about because that's, of course, all offline, and we don't have to get into the mix with that unless it's completely, wrong and we have to review it. But at this point in time, it looks like the first semi-final has gone according to plan with some phenomenal action and a win, not to a gamer, to a racing driver.
Yeah, amazing. I was just checking on my Facebook here. Zach Angora says the Hulk, brilliant drive. I must say, Greg, a couple of weeks ago, I was interviewed about the state of Formula One, and one of the things that came up was the iRacing and e-racing and all of those things. And I've got, two different opinions on it, but. Having watched this, I'm quite amped, and I'm quite interested in changing my views a little bit. That was so much fun, and we're not even in the cars.
No, exactly. It's fantastic. And I've just got to give a shout out to Brendan because I've just been sent a link now from on my page. Looks like the big boss man there from Dio, Stephen Watson, has just joined us as well. He, of course, a multiple champion and of course, he's just saying to us, guys, this is absolutely brilliant. First class and fantastic to have Brendan and part of his team all involved. So well done. That's how we do it. We don't mess around. We try and get all the big players involved. You know what I'm saying?
No, listen, it's wonderful, and I think we're attracting some big crowds from all over the world to come and watch us on our South African Solidarity E-Race. That was our first semi-final. We've got our second semi-final, which will be coming up in a short while. I've got to catch my breath here, Greg. We've got 4 of these. Okay, so these are the next competitors. They're in a free practice session at the moment, so they can just get a feel of what the track is doing, get the conditions, make sure that they've got their setup correct. And this should also be a very, very strong race. Your top 10 guys are on this grid, Greg, were from 14th to 34th. So nothing between them when it comes to the qualifying.
Very, very close stuff, Sash. It's going to be incredible to watch these guys. We'll get the grid up a bit later on, but as they get into it, we're going to ask also if Brendan has been able to hook up those interviews that we wanted to line up if possible with Francois Remy Mornier from NEC Global or with Michael van Rooyen. Michael van Rooyen will be in semi-final 4. So it looks like our 2 interviews weren't able to come through, so we'll just hold the fort for now. I've got a couple of other comments coming through as well. It says, nice to see you commentating from your garage. Well, that's how we do things when we're in lockdown. We're not allowed to go anywhere else, so I appreciate that one. Yeah, and I'm right behind my car. I could actually just turn it on and maybe like get those Suzuki fumes coming in to give me a bit more fluent commentary, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Terrific stuff, and I tell you, I mean, we've got so many people who are online as well, which is terrific. Are you guys live on YouTube? We're not on YouTube, Dylan. We're on Facebook.
No, we are.
We are on YouTube.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, we're going out of YouTube. I think it's being streamed on YouTube by SuperTube It, and I think there's also a link to the eSolidarity race page as well, if I'm not mistaken. All right, so hashtag Solidarity E-Race. That we want to pick up all the action that's on YouTube. And of course, if you want to watch it on YouTube, it means you can watch it on your smart TV as well. And you can get a massive, big 84 centimeter or 78 million meters screen like Sasha Martinengo's got.
Oh, yeah. I wish. Well, listen, if you've got a very clever smartphone, you can actually take it from your Facebook picture and put it on your smartphone as well. So just amazing. Emil Brandt, a couple of things. Pierre says, I wish Kyle Army had so many spectators. Well, clearly you weren't at the 9 hour. Yes,
he wasn't at the 9 hour.
Exactly. So,
9 hours was ram-packed, but
Emil says, fantastic, gents, having a great time, really, really enjoying it. So wonderful to have you online. Yeah, keep the comments coming through on our various pages and platforms. We will try and get to them, but we are focusing on the commentary as well.
I think what we need to do, of course, is get Emil to share this onto his page. He's got Tiny's pit box down there. So, Emil, don't be scared to just share it out there. Get all your friends to like what we're doing as well, buddy. It's good to have you on board here, Tiny. Thanks for that, bud. The smallest man in Cape Town there, watching us from his pit box in Cape Town.
Yeah, wonderful. Diane Gestar, she's a huge motorsport fan. Comes to a couple of my Formula One events as well at the Barons. So nice to have you along, Diane. Lovely that you've joined us. Yeah, have a lot of fun with us. We've got a minute and a half left of this free practice for the second qualifiers for our semi-final, which will come up in a couple of minutes from now. Still don't know what happened to Luke McKesson.
Sash, I want to go quickly onto the WhatsApp channel as well on our WhatsApp group and just go through some of the comments that are there. There's some great fun comments coming through from the first semi-final
quality guys, but
saying basically, who overtook me in turn 1? I'd like a 500 Rand donation, please. That's from Johan.
But I'll switch back after the next race.
And said, it could have been me. I fully agree, but the oak outbraked himself completely. Okay, so we need to leave this lobby now. So we're out of here. Bad luck. Such shame. Hold thumbs for the wild card.
Wonderful.
It's great to have that kind of camaraderie.
You know what? I think when we do this again, Greg, we're going to have a couple of remote cameras in one or two of the guys to see their reactions when they're racing, when somebody takes them out to turn 1. I think that could be rather spicy.
Yeah, if you watch the MotoGP one, it was phenomenal to watch because, I mean, they literally had cameras on every single rider. And I mean, I know we don't have the budget to do that. I know Brendan can do it. But it's a case of just getting a server per driver, basically, so that we don't miss out on anything that happens on those onboard cameras and on the cameras inside their studios where their rigs are, like where our garage and your dining room is. So I think maybe what we can do tomorrow is have a chat to Brendan and possibly get a couple of those live links that we can head to in the 2 big races tomorrow night. Maybe that's a doable option. We'll play around with that. Don't you worry. We do everything we can to ensure that we get as much as we can.
Yeah, no pressure on you, Brendan. You know what I mean? We know that.
Yeah. Stir. All right, so now I've also got Yuri Swart asking about how the wild card works. Now, that's a good question there coming up on the WhatsApp group. The wild card, basically, Yuri, is not up to me. It's not up to Sash. It's not up to any of our production team. It comes out of race control, and that, of course, is being handled by Jason Holden-Jones, Richard Raymond, and part of our organisers, of course, coming out of Supercar Lifestyle. So those organisers will decide by the end of semi-final 4 who they deem to be the most worthy of getting that wild card drive and the 25th position on tomorrow night's grand final grid for race 1.
There we go. I think let's have a look at what we can expect for race 2 in terms of our grid. Maybe Brendan can just put that up on the screen. We can have a look at. Yeah, we go. We've got 30 seconds.
Well, they're rolling out. It's on the left-hand side there, so Brendan doesn't have to worry. They are in grid position there on the left-hand side of the screen. Oh, but there you have it. Don't you worry. Brendan will definitely outgun me and make me feel really good.
We got an Audi 8 on pole position. I'm also watching out for my good friend Davide Favo, who's starting right at the back in 23rd. So it seems that we've also got a couple of drivers from this heat.
Yeah, just going to run through them quickly there. Robert Whiting is there. Mark Antle is there.
I'll try to come back and do a little update just now. We'll kick off your session.
Gone, so there's one that's missing. So Chris Shorter, unfortunately, I don't know what the issue was there with Shorty.
Important to remember.
Or it could have been an internet issue there.
We need to have the...
Like I've got in my garage.
Sorry, when you're on the grid, you're going to have a practice session. It will automatically flip into the race. You'll have a minute.
Let's see. Lorenzo Gatteri is there. Daniel Skuman is there. Johannes Schreling is there. Chris DeVet is there. Leon van Beek, Lawrence Stern.
And ended up starting from the pits, which can obviously really ruin
Henry Roux is there. Oh, we've got a guy running off in the warm-up lap. That's not a good thing to do.
Make sure you got that.
Andrew Schofield is there. Craig Ecote is there.
Rather, make sure you click that drive button.
Baldo Swiggers
otherwise,
is
good luck.
there.
I'll chat to you in a bit. I'll give you a 15 minutes when we're ready, or when the server's up, and then I'll give you a 5.
Oh, Anthony Rafael. There you go. So there's the other one that's not there. 16th. He's out of there. Darren Peens is there. Mike McGeer is there in 19th. He's moved up a couple of positions. Johan Labuskakny, Barry Mayer, Batis Hugo, Kyle Menton, Donnie Miller, and Davide Favo. So it's Anthony Rafael and Chris Shorter who have not made the starting grid.
I must say, just got a cool message here from Kurt saying, watching from the couch. This is pretty cool. Thanks for the passion for motorsport, guys. It's our pleasure, Kurt. Thanks for joining us, because this is pretty hairy stuff. And I tell you, after the first heat, I'm going to need a shower at the end of this. This is too much excitement for me. It's fabulous.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And of course, this is the kind of action we're hoping to bring you more and more of. And of course, if there are any sponsors out there that want to join us and possibly give everybody a bit more entertainment and these drivers another option and another go at it, well, you know what to do. Get on to solidarityerace.co.za.
That's not good.
Get hold of the organisers. And if you've got a little bit of ammo that you want to throw at this, there's certainly a lot of drivers out there that would love another run at it. And of course, the second round of this championship would be pretty spectacular as well. We'll try and get a couple of international drivers to come and join us as well. Maybe play around with a few options of letting them come in, because we did limit the original entries to people that are still based here in South Africa and are in lockdown. That was part and parcel of the rules. But there has been a couple of guys who've suggested it would have been nice to have the Van der Lindes, possibly even Jordan Pepper, maybe the likes of Stuart White. I know he had issues.
And I think,
basically, Stuart White had a bit of an issue with the graphics card. Unfortunately, that's why he couldn't enter and wasn't able to get that graphics card sorted in time.
All right, before we get into the start of the race, they're coming out of the final part of Crocodiles and then, of course, into Cheetah and to Ingwe. But, for the international competitors that want to come on board, Greg, as well, if they pay, our South African competitors only paid, I think, 100 Rand or so to enter. If they pay €100, $100, £100, we'll just make like billions.
Yeah,
billions.
Exactly. If you look at the current change and the interest rate that dropped again this afternoon, we're going to be making huge money. Maybe we can get paid for this one, Sash.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows? Who knows?
All right, here we go. Semi-final 2. It's Rob Whiting on the front row there. Mark Ansel alongside him. It's Audi versus Porsche. Behind that, it's Porsche versus Audi. So literally a German invasion at the front end. We're going to go all the way down into 10th place to find the first of the Aston Martins. That's with Lawrence Stern and Robberby alongside him. Lights out, and we're racing down towards turn 1. The 14 car there of Whiting getting the drop. But look at this. It's side-by-side action down towards turn 1. Porsche's mixing it up with the Audis as they head into that first corner. And now towards turn 2, Crowthorne. It's the Porsche on the inside. Great move on the inside there. Can he find a way past? No. A couple of Audis having to run wide there. I think that was Warren Farrant who just came through. Has he been able to squeeze up? No. It is Whiting who holds onto the lead. And it looks like Farrant has got through there on Antel. No, Antel hangs on just ahead of Warren Farrant. But Farrant has got big pressure coming from Lorenzo Gutteri just on his tail.
I got to tell you, watch out for Antel. He was unbelievable on the brakes. He's pushing Whiting everywhere as they're coming up to Clubhouse. He's going to try and dive down the inside, or maybe he's going to wait until they get to the Crocodiles. But he is on a charge. That Porsche is flying on the first lap of our second heat. 15 minutes left to go.
Biggest mover of that start procedure came out of Daniel Skuman, I think it is. Daniel Skuman up into third place. He's got through there on Farrant and on Lorenzo Gutteri. So Gutteri and Farrant losing out ever so slightly there. And Daniel moving up 2 positions, getting ahead of those 2 drivers. Then you've got De Wet. Chris De Wet making a good move as well, getting through there on Van Vyk and Stern. Lawrence Stern there in 9th place in the first of the non-German products. And there's a move. Wow, that is proper. You've got to have some big cojones to go through there. Going through the sweep at the bottom end of the mine shaft, and for second and third, so tight. Absolutely brilliant stuff. Mark Ansel, how he kept Skuman out there, I don't know.
Well, I tell you, that's also given breathing space to Whiting as well up front. But he's got through. No, he hasn't got through as yet. It looks like Skuman has got through on Ansel. Just waiting for
other way around. Other way around there. The 2 Audis are very similar colours there, Sash. So you've got the Audi out front there of Ansel and Skuman is just hanging on. Warren Farrant now is becoming the defensive driver to keep out the second Audi, that one there of Lorenzo Gutteri. So Gutteri has got Krayling, he's got Van Vyk, and right behind them comes De Wet, Ecoats, and Roux. There is literally half a second splitting those 7 cars fighting for 4th to 11th.
I tell you, very, very close. Somebody running a little bit wide, taking a little bit of the dust at the moment. It is Whiting from Antel, Skuman, Farrant, Gutteri, as they're making their way, coming up to Clubhouse for the second time. And it looks like a furious pace. We've got a drive-through penalty for car number 56.
Baldo Swiegers.
Swiegers, unfortunately, don't know what the transgression was, but he's got the drive-through penalty. But this is a very proper pace.
We got that from our race control there, Sash. It looks like Valdo decided to take one of the cars completely out and rammed him off the circuit, so he was given the drive-through penalty, which of course literally takes him out of the race. I think it might have been Miller that he sent to the sideline because Miller's actually dropped behind him. So Miller loses out even more due to the fact that he got unceremoniously taken out. But Waldo has been given the drive-through penalty. He's taken it as we thought they would. But we continue this battle with Warren Farrant now trying to find a way through on Gutteri. On Skuman, I beg your pardon. Skuman now just ahead there of Warren Farrant, Lorenzo Gutteri just behind that. And then you can see pushing hard is Krayling. So we've got a 3-way battle for what is now 4th place on track. And what a move there! Around the outside of the Porsche. How do you do that?
Check the drive button when the
drive begins. And he does it to perfection.
Might not get the full 15 minutes.
What an unbelievable
you will, however, have
move
some
there.
time in the practice session. Please make sure that
pace is incredible. They're doing 142s at the moment. That was Wesley Farrant. Look at them going basically 2 abreast. Going into turn 2, it looks like the black Audi coming up on the inside as well.
Lorenzo Gutteri now side by side with Warren Farrant as they come there, and Farrant loses out. He drops back a little position. So you've got Daniel Skuman has moved to 2nd place now. Mark Ansel is up into 3rd, and behind him is Warren Farrant and Lorenzo Gutteri fighting hard. Farrant loses a bit more ground there to Gutteri as they go into sunset. You can see he's now trying to close down on the first Porsche, and this one looks like it might go to 2 and 3.
Yeah, just losing there, Greg, a little bit. But, I mean, coming out of Clubhouse, don't forget, it's only the top 6 that go through.
Got a bit excited there. You
actually
have
9,
extra time.
There is nothing
what I'm going to do is I'm going to kill the server
minutes to go.
and
This is going to take unbelievable mental concentration. No mistakes, because you've got to look where you're going in front. You've also got to defend driving as well. 31 there, we're looking at Chris looking very racy at the moment with Farrant right behind him as they go through. Leopold down into the mine shaft.
Yeah.
This is a very good overtaking position possibility coming into the Crocodiles. Let's see if anyone changes their line. Yes, goes in the inside. That is car number 23, Gautieri, just holding it. Oh, he's running a little bit wide. Looks like the Porsche of Van Grelen is going to have a chance, but gets blocked out.
Yeah, Grelen, I think, just lost a little bit of space there and ran a bit wide all on his own, so trying to avoid the mistake that was made there by Lorenzo Gautieri. But Gautieri just managed to stay on track, and it was a bit of a loss there for Grelen. Grelen now side by side with Van Wyk as they come across the line. Van Wyk on the inside and the Audi, which of course will be the outside line for turn 2. So if that Porsche can just stay on the inside, Grelen might be able to outbrake him and hang on to that position. He goes late on the brakes. He forces the Audi to the outside line. He taps in. Oh, he's put him into the spin. Oh, there could be some trouble there for Grelen. He just helped that Audi around a little bit more than what we'd like. Have a look at it from the aerial material shot here. Oh, yeah, definitely helped out a bit there. Fortunately, everybody else behind took evasive action and just missed out the spinning Porsche. But I think there may be a little bit of a chat coming very soon to the man in the Audi for that little attempt and trying to find a way past.
Yeah, a little bit of a transgression. We'll have to see what's happening. We've got Robert Whiting, who's clearly out in the lead after getting pressurized in the first lap. But with the scrap going on behind him between Anton Schumann, Gautieri, and Eco, well, Gautieri is just up to Gautieri. Robert Whiting seems to be very, very comfortable. We got 9.5 minutes left. We're on board with Lorenzo Gautieri chasing that Audi in front of him and going down the mine shift. Let's stay on board with him because maybe you'll try and go on the inside. Let's see what the Schumann does in terms of potential driving. Gautieri tries the inside.
There we go. So it looks like Grelen's been given a 5-second penalty to be added to his overall time at the end of the race. So we'll wait and see how that ends up. But as they head now down towards Ingwe corner, Lorenzo Gautieri late on the brakes, trying to close a little bit onto the back end there of Schumann and Antel. So it looks like Mark Antel at this point has the man with the target on his back. He's got 2 Audis very, very close in attendance. Behind that, Grelen, as I said, with a 5-second penalty. So he'll drop down probably a lap with that 5-second penalty incurred. And then it'll be Warren Ferrand who continues the battle there with Van Wyk and, of course, Ecos. But now as they come into Crowthorne corner, watch this from the Porsche's point of view. This is Antel looking back at those 2 Audis as they go through Yuxkay. Now a little bit of double left-hander into Barbecue and onto the short straight towards Sunset. The Porsche certainly has the turner pace on those straights, but the Audis have got some great handling. And, of course, with the all-wheel drive quattro system that they've got, it certainly does help them out ever so slightly in the tighter and trickier bits. But they've got to try and capitalize and not fight each other, because by fighting each other, which we're seeing there from Schumann and Gautieri, they are losing ground to the Porsche. And, of course, that'll just give Mark Antel a bit of breathing room. Rob Whiting, almost 5 seconds up the road in the lead. So we don't haven't seen him as we drop back ever so slightly into the backpack here, looking at Gautieri heading to the top towards Leeuwkop. But if we just go a little bit further back there, there's about 6 or 7 cars that are absolutely hauling. Now as they come up here, this of course is Murray. Nice to see him up there as well. Rudy Murray having a bit of a fight of his own there with the 40 car of Henny Roux. Then you've got Raboby just behind them. So the Spider-Man is all over the back looking for a way past and pushing that Aston Martin of his to the limit. You can see here's the yellow and black Aston Martin on the tailpiece of these 2 Audis as they come.
Yeah, I want to try and maybe if we get the end of what's happening with Ferrand and Echo, because these are the 2 guys that are definitely going to be pushing Grelen at 6th position when it comes to that 5-second penalty. Grelen only has 1.3 second gap over Ferrand. He's got to get it over 5 seconds. But Eckhout and Ferrand are within a second of each other. So they're the ones who are going to be fighting for that much-needed 6th position in the second heat. Only the top 6 go through to our Solidarity E-Race final tomorrow evening.
Oh, there's late braking from the Aston Martin. Sorry to jump in there, Sash. And I thought that might happen. Exceptionally late braking from the Aston Martin, and he's taken out the Audi unceremoniously into Crowthorne corner. Watch this. That is exceptionally late braking, and there's just nowhere to turn in there. He takes the Audi out. That was a 50 car there, unfortunately being taken out of Rudy Murray. So Murray just being tapped from the back from that Aston Martin. And that's not the way you want to go into Crowthorne corner. So there's probably going to be a little bit of a chat there from our race control to Raboby, pulling a bit of a late Spider-Man dive into Crowthorne corner. So he's going to be in some big, big trouble. Further up, Grelen looks like he's starting to pull a bit of a gap by the looks of things and starting to attempt to get away from Warren Ferrand. He's coming up on some back markers. That could come into play as well now.
Yeah, Freyland
goes back.
Yeah, he's actually trying to go past on the make up the 5 seconds to do it, and they come down through the mine shaft yet again. We've got Johannes Freyland that is holding that position, and he's got through from Van Beek. And now he's got 5 seconds between himself and Lorenzo Gartieri. But now he really has to push the hammer down if he wants to try and make up for the 5-second penalty that he's going to be given at the end.
Van Beek out of shape on a cheese griller roll-off point, and you can see on the 29 car of Kreyling trying to find a way through and capitalize. He's done that, and he's going to take the 22 Porsche Ferrari with him. So the 2 Porsches capitalizing on a mistake there from the Audi driver. Can they keep it all together as they go through turn 1? The kink. Inside line for the Porsches, the ideal line to be on. And Warren Ferrari seems to have just a little bit more drive down that straightaway into Crowthorne. He's late to the race. He's going to try and force the Audi wide, which he does to perfection. And the 2 Porsches eventually squeeze through and drop that Audi back down into what is now 6th place.
Sure, I tell you, some great driving over there, and very brave from the Audi. I thought he was going to outbrake himself going into turn 2 into Crowthorne. But lost a bit of place now. Those 2 Porsches pushing each other, coming through Sunset, of course, coming up to Clubhouse as well. Will he try and dive down the inside? No, he's going to get hard on the brakes here and maybe try and do something for the essence.
Well, this is fantastic. Porsche racing versus the Audi R8 LMS. You can see just how hard they are driving these cars, pushing them to the limits, pushing those what would be Pirelli tires, because that's what they run in the Intercontinental GT Championship, up towards Leerkop. Looking for a chance now. This is very, very close racing, and you can see Warren Ferrand has not found a way past yet, although he is looking the most dangerous Porsche on track right now, and just trying to soak up the pressure being applied from behind is Kreyling. So Kreyling heading down the second fastest part of the circuit now into the street at the bottom end of the mine shaft, and on the brakes. Here comes Audi diving on the inside. Can we see Van Beek squeeze through? Yes, we can. Can he keep it all together and square it up for the corner? That is a brilliant maneuver.
Yeah, fantastic driving there from the Audi of Van Beek. But the man who's really got to put the hammer down is Kreyling, who's leading out of these 3 at the moment. He's got, he's only got about 2 seconds to sort of, he's only got 2 seconds at the moment to keep him into the top 6. It looks like Ferrand will definitely will take that position.
This is the battle for the top 6 here, Dash. Yeah. This is literally the battle for the top 6. So these guys are going to have to fight it out right to the checkered flag. And it's probably about 2 or 3 laps to go in this race. So you can see just how difficult it is for these guys as they are getting into the crux of it now. Any mistake right now is going to be massive. Now we go back to the battle for the mint condition Porsche there of Chris de Vet as he comes up onto the back straight there. So de Vet, Earcoat, and of course Henny Roux all fighting for honours here. Roux in the Audi around the outside. What a move! Around the outside of Sunset. I mean, come on. Who does that in a Porsche, Sasha Martinengo?
That's just extraordinary driving as well. Looking amazing. Chris de Vet, and he's got Roux and Earcoat right behind him as well. This is fighting just for glory. Well, you never know. Other drivers could make a couple of mistakes as well. But looks like Ferrand is going to be the lucky one. And Kreyling, unfortunately, is the unfortunate one. He's going to lose out because of the 5-second penalty that is going to be issued. Look at these 3 again. Unbelievable.
Porsche side by side. I wonder if Warren Ferrand actually realizes that Kreyling's been given that 5-second penalty. He'll see it, I'm sure, on his screen. And if he can see it, there's no reason to really push as hard as what he's pushing. But, of course, we say that as racing drivers ourselves in some format during our careers. When you're in a battle like this, you don't really care about the penalties that have been incurred. You want to finish up against the guys you're racing with right here at the best of your ability and hopefully outgun them on the track before you even get any penalties incurred.
Yeah, try to tell a racing driver to go slowly, Greg. Good luck with that one.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't happen. Anyway, apparently I've made a faux pas on my commentary ever so slightly, and I got sorted out there by Nico Roots. So apologies to everybody. Apparently, all of these cars are rear-wheel drive. So all the Audi fans out there, they're not using the Quattro system. They are all rear-wheel drive. So apologies for that. We'll try and remember that as much as possible. But why do we want to spoil the story with the facts?
Exactly. Here we go. We're into the final 1 minute and 30 seconds. Rob Whiting out front. We haven't been with him for quite a while, but he's got a 5.5 second lead over Ansel. Galtieri's dropped his pace quite significantly. Skuman right on the back of him. But there's a 6 second gap to Van Beek. So we're on board with Wesley Ferrand. And he's pushing like crazy to get a hold of Kralin. Kralin maybe realizes that 5 second penalty. Oh, what a brilliant! That was incredible. Nearly took him out, but wow, brilliant driving from Wesley Ferrand, getting on the inside of Kralin. Is he going to make it hold? Look at that for driving. Brilliant stuff. That was.
We just saw the one Porsche making the mistake there and running wide, allowing Wesley Ferrand a chance to dive through. So onto the final lap now for Rob Whiting with a big gap over Mark Ansel. So Mark Ansel, unfortunately, going to have to settle for second place here. But remember, we've got to just get them up into the top 6. That's the most important factor to have tonight. If you're in that top 6, that is where you need to be to ensure yourself a place in tomorrow night's grand finale. And that's exactly what Rob Whiting has done, literally from the word go. He was on pole position. He was 3 positions higher up than Mark Ansel. But remember, Ansel himself and Wesley Ferrand were only about half a second between them. So there is absolutely nothing in it. So to capitalize and to make a move like Rob Whiting has done to get away from a very, very experienced pack behind him has been some good driving.
Yeah, very much so. Just looking at his times, his fastest time was a 1:41.0 compared to a 1:40.7 in the previous race. But Rob Whiting hasn't had any real competition besides that first lap, so he's probably take it a little bit easier and just control his pace. The gaps in this race are quite different compared to what we saw in the first heat.
And the other thing is, I'm glad you brought times into it, Sash, because remember, the top 6 that come out of this heat, their fastest lap out of this heat will dictate where they start tomorrow night, race 1 in the grand finale. So it is vitally important to try and get a very hot lap in here at some point in the semi-final.
Not sure what happened there. Don't know if their stream broke. Hello. I don't know what happened to this stream, but it seems to have broken on my side. Let me try a refresh. Ooh, that doesn't quite look like it's all in one piece. Maybe it is. Hold on, let's see. Is it, or is it broken? That doesn't look like it's running to me. Ours is still going, but I think theirs may have crashed. Where are we here? Let's see. Alright, that seems a little bit broken. Right, guys. You've got me now, but it looks like we're going to be jumping into a race pretty soon. So let me get rid of all of that. Hello, everyone. My race seems to be working. I think their stream may have died. Let me just see if it's running. While we wait, you can watch these fast guys go around. Look at this guy go. This is the guy I have to race against. It's going to be difficult. Let's see. Solidarity E-Race. Are they back up and running yet? Are they live?
Oh, 5-minute warning. Hi all,
Okay.
Please be ready. This is your 5-minute
Looks like
warning.
they're back.
Yeah, please be ready for the race. Good luck, have fun. And try keep it tidy. We've had 1 or 2 penalties today, but mostly someone drove someone else into a wall and a little bit of sneaky driving. So, try keep it a bit tidy. But otherwise the penalties aren't free-flowing, so have fun.
Hey everybody, it's me! I don't know what happened with those oaks, but it seems like they're back on again. So if you want to carry on watching the race commentary, go to the main Solidarity E-Race. If you want to watch me, then watch right here. I don't really know what happened there. It just seemed like I lost the feed there. But it seems like it's working now. Let me get some freaking practice in, people. I've been messing about here so much that I haven't done much practice. First thing I want to do is fix my delay.
Fantastic development this is.
Right, so time for us to try and jump in here. Jason L, thank you very much for the like. All the guys, sorry, my likes weren't showing on that other capture. Alright, gotta get my game face on. Let's have some juice.
Yellow flag ahead, watch out.
Time to drive. Starting in 16th place.
There's a slow car ahead.
Doing some warm-up.
Yellow flag, yellow flag.
Fantastic development this is.
Running with full race fuel at the moment. So it's all about just getting some practice laps in. Raul with the like, thank you very much. Tommy van der Merwe, Siobhan Manus, Werner Hirnop, thank you very much everybody for a like. Welcome to the 1080p 60 stream of the Solidarity E-Race. Their streams are looking a little ropey, but we're doing okay here. All we gotta do is not die, which, if you guys follow my stream, you know that's a lot easier said than done. So we're gonna try our best, ladies and gentlemen. If by some miracle we get a top 6, that'll be pretty epic. But these guys are very quick.
Yellow flag in sector 3.
Gotta watch out for that corner on full fuel. It's not so good. It's probably the last lap that we can do as a practice. This is invite only, you had to qualify. And only the top 6 make it through to tomorrow night's finals. Valid lap time. Race is starting in 1 minute. This race is ahead of the official broadcast. So if you want to see who wins, you've got some bets going out there.
Fantastic
Watch right here.
Attack, attack, attack. Fantastic development this is.
Got one decent lap in. Low 44, I gotta be doing 42s the whole way around. Alright. Here we go. 16th place. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. The big race. Dominic Leroux, thank you. Andres Lombard, Eli Vergara. Vergara. Thank you very much, everyone. Let's just check. It's a 16-minute lap, 16-minute race. The worry is if you... The worry is if you put in too little fuel and run out. And if there's an extra lap, because it's a timed race. Alright, 1 lap warm up. I hope I don't run out of fuel. That will be problematic if I do, but I should be okay. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Map 8 is a bit ridiculous. Just warming up our brakes. Almost at good temps. Already used 2 of my laps, 2 of my liters of fuel, which is not great. Let's just get this mode right. Alright, we're lining up on the right hand side, which is hopefully the safer side. I'm quite far back in the death zone.
Green light, give it all you can.
Got a good start.
Car on the left, clear on the left.
Audi got a lightning start behind.
Car on the left, clear on the left.
No death yet, which is good.
Car on the left, clear on the left. Car on the left.
Someone's
Clear
dead
on the
already. Oh no!
Got some light damage on the front of the car.
Ah,
Car on the left,
damn it.
clear on the left.
Light damage. Let's be aggressive. On a 17th, no good. That guy's trying to do something. Damn it, I didn't need that damage.
Slow car ahead.
Ooh, I think that Hutchings is one of the high-up guys. Oh, we're back to our starting position with a bit of damage because of that damn Lamborghini. I thought he was going to spin the other way into the wall. Fortunately, he didn't.
There's a slow car ahead.
Ah, my old friend Blanche.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
Left the door open there. I'll take it. Up to 14th. Seem to be faster than these two guys for the moment.
Car on the right. Clear on the right. Brother Payne, this is me, your personal best. Car on the right. Clear on the right. Car on the left.
Oh, this guy's damage will just slow.
Clear on the left.
It's very nice of him. To 12th.
Slow car ahead. Yellow flag ahead. Be careful.
Got a bit of a gap to this guy and he's pretty quick. Come on, brakes. Stuck here in 11th. Get faster. Hopefully these two ahead will start having a bit of a fight. Push them back into me. Or better yet, crash off. And then I don't even have to overtake them.
We are halfway through. Keep it up.
Fantastic development this is.
Robert Portman, thank you very much for the like.
Attack, attack, attack. Fantastic development this is.
Steen Theron, Taylor Kanuna, Marcus van Lochenberg. Thank you very much for the follows. Catching this guy slowly, but I'm going to run out of time.
Fantastic development this is. Fantastic development this is. Fantastic development this is.
Oops.
Fantastic development this is. Attack, attack, attack.
Just can't catch up to these guys, man.
Attack, attack, attack.
Thank you very much, everyone, for the follows and the likes.
Attack, attack, attack. Fantastic development this is.
Losing to the car heading sector 1.
I know.
Fantastic development this is.
Thank you everybody for the follows and the likes. Sorry if I'm not answering them. Just a little bit busy at the moment.
Fantastic development this is.
Oh, we had a bad corner there.
Fantastic development this is. Attack, attack, attack.
Damn you Porsches and Audis. Just too damn quick. Especially through that middle section. Oh. I don't know what happened with old Patterson there. Definitely the closest I've been. I was a second faster than him that lap. Can we do that for 2 more laps?
Fantastic development this is.
See, those Porsches can just turn it on and then go half a second faster than me without even trying. Very, very annoying. Ooh, a little bit wide there.
Fantastic development this is.
Losing time to the car in front in sector 2.
Yeah, 0.2 of a second faster than my fastest lap. Second last lap, I think. If I'm correct. My fuel load was fine, which is a very good thing. I was a bit worried about fuel loads, to be honest. It's going to be marginal, that's for sure. Penguin socks plus 45 horsepower indeed. I just needed to wear another 6 pairs. Well, the guy in front must be wearing at least 6 pairs of penguin socks. Would have liked a top 10.
Right, man. Leader is on the final lap. Give it all you can.
Come, crash into each other.
Attack!
Neil needs a top 10 finish. Come on. Helps if you don't skip a gear change. Come on, go for the big lunge. Come on, Peterson. We all want you to go for that big lunge. Go for 9th place. Come on. Oh, this car has got no front end grip now. Oh, hello 10th place. Huzzah! 10th place. Maybe this guy gets a penalty. Come on, hit him a penalty.
Fantastic development.
Come on. Top 10, baby. I think the top 3 were miles ahead. But top 6 might have been possible. I think if I didn't get that damage. Come on, Patterson. Race up this corner. Come on. Say that I almost mess it up. Cross the line in 10th place. I'll take it, ladies and gentlemen. I will take it. 16th to 10th. Not too shabby. Woo! That was fairly intense. Good gravy. Sure. Thank you very much, guys. 10th place. Could have done a little bit better, but I'll take a 10th place. That damage in the first lap didn't help. Probably lost me about half a second of lap time. I think I only got one lap when I got into the 142s. Let's see this guy. Let's see what he did. Check his times though. 140, 140, 140, 140, 140, 140. I can't beat that, guys. What were my times? Let's have a look here.
Green light, show them what you got.
Oh, they've just deleted all the times. No! Oh, my race is over, guys. Thank you very much. It was the first half of the race was awesome when I was making up those top 5 places. That was a super amount of fun. But, unfortunately, let me add their stuff to this page. This is going to look absolutely terrible. Oh no, that won't work. I gotta go to the desktop capture. Let's go to the desktop capture and see what's happening with them. And let's see here.
Enjoying the action with us. It's just terrific. Also, Greg, getting quite a few WhatsApp messages from people sitting and saying, geez, I'm watching it. How can I enter? And I go, well, Brew, you're a little bit late. This one's already done, but we will do it again. That's for sure. So just terrific stuff.
That's what it's all about. That's what we're hoping to bring everybody in. Of course, I'm looking there. It still gives Absmeyer second place on that result. I don't know if that's right. I think that's our qualifying. That's not the results of the race there, Brendan, unfortunately. So I don't know if you can pull that result up again.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's definitely not the right result that we got up there. So we're not going to go with that result. But, of course, at this stage, a great dice expected now for semi-final number 4.
We got semi-final number 4, and also the news that we got in during that race as well is that there will be, I just want to read it, a wild card invitational. It's a 5-lap qualifier, 5-lap sprint race. The winner of that, one driver only, will go through and become our 25th competitor in the final tomorrow evening. Only one more semi-final to go, Greg. I can't believe how quickly it's going.
Yeah, it's amazing, buddy. It's amazing. I'm just picking up on a couple of guys sending me, and it's literally messages are flowing in here from every kind of social media aspect you can name. One guy who's definitely trying to get hold of me, I'm going to give him a bit of a mention there if he doesn't hear it already, is Andrew Colbert, who, of course, is our good friend down in East London and the PE region, driving out of the logistics company. Andrew Colbert, to get hold of somebody right now for Solidarity E-Race, your best bet is probably going to be to go onto the website, solidarityerace.co.za. I know you're trying to log on and get the Assetto Corsa game set up. Hopefully they can help you out there, buddy. I don't know if they can, but that's your best bet right now. And please send all our very best, of course, to your teammate there, Son Mudley. We hope you've enjoyed all this action from Bigfoot Express Freight's point of view.
Yeah, also, I think
Thank you very much, guys,
a
for
lot
the
of people
comments.
might be
I'm
sitting there
reading them
saying,
on
well,
my
what
phone.
race is this? How do I get involved? It is the Assetto race that the guys are racing on. There are so many different
So
ones
keep sending
out there,
through
but
your
I mean, this
comments.
one
I'm
just
going
quite
to be able to read
spectacular.
them shortly.
Yeah, it was an absolutely amazing effort from the team to get it all together. And I'm looking forward to the final heat now, of course, of the semi-finals. It's not the final race of the evening. We've still got one more to go, as Sash mentioned, for the wild card. It's an invitational, so basically anybody can jump in, and whoever wins that race will go through. So that's how that one's going to work, straight off the semi-final 4 now. But as we wait for them to get out into their last practice session, Sash, the engagement that we've had here via your page, my page, Solidarity E-Races page, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. It's just been mind-blowing. And I think a lot of people don't realize the value of what we've put together here. So practice session is out now for, of course, our qualifying for semi-final 4. The man to watch out for in this one is going to be the man that we're watching right now in car 4, Ulrich Enslin, one of SA's finest gamers, and certainly the odds-on favourite for this heat.
Thanks very much, George.
Yeah, watch out for him. And, of course, we spoke to Bashir Jadwat, who's in 4th place. Look at those times from qualifying or from this practice session. Nothing. I mean, the top 6 are split by 6/10 of a second. The top 4 split by 2/10 of a second. So this is going to be an extremely, extremely tight race. And we've got our good friend Colin Hastie going to start down in 23rd place. We've got Michael van Rooyen, who's up there in 10th place as well. So, yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
There he is, Colin Hastie in number 99. So maybe Georgie Lorenzo can bring him a little bit of luck there with the 9.9 on the side of his car.
Hope you guys enjoyed the 1080p.
But, just looking at this pack, we have got everybody except for Ulrich, according to what I see. Unless he might have jumped out. He was definitely on the start. I hope he hasn't had a problem and had to pull out of this one. It says that Patterson is 2nd and McCall is 3rd, which means I'm also missing. I don't know where Patterson's come from. Patterson's a new driver. He's not even on my list.
Ulrich's there.
There we go. Okay, they've reshuffled it. I was just looking at what was up on the left-hand side. So Ulrich Enslin is there.
Yeah,
all right,
just
so if we
going
run
out
through the grid positions that'll be going out in the Bentley there, as I saw it going out there as well. That'll be, I think it's Van Rensburg, who's in the Bentley. Mark Van Rensburg in 36. 28 at the top of the hill up at Leeuwkop. That will be Jeff Kruger.
I don't know. That'll be
boy,
pretty cool.
From the incredible Universal Motorsport and Racing team, who's helping us out now with a potential drive for our top gamer. And a test drive for them.
Yeah.
You can watch it.
And such a cool family as well. Just a really, really great guy, Jeff and his family. He's got a lot to do. Just having a look where he qualified for this heat. I'm looking at my, qualified in 8th position. So he's going to have to drive for it. He's going to have to drive as well as he does in real life, this time on a console to get into that top 6.
Yeah, he battled a little bit in the qualifying in the top 100 shootout and the hot laps. I got to chat to him in between, of course, the racing as we set up that incredible prize that's been given by Universal Motorsport. So he was saying it's not as easy as it looks. And there certainly is a lot of preparation that's got to go into it. And when I say that, and I hear you chuckling in the background, the back and forth on the initial days of qualifying for the hot laps, there was so much banter between the drivers to try and get these cars set up, because you've actually got to go to the point that some of these drivers do and employ a race engineer to actually give you the physical correct setups for these cars on the circuit for these kind of conditions.
Why don't you do it anymore, Andres?
It is much more complicated than I think a lot of people who are just watching. You know, myself, I've never played this Assetto game, but I'm sure it has so many different settings that you can go and manipulate in terms of your setup. It's not like the original games, Greg, where you used to just plug and play, turn it on, and whatever the setting was, that's how you went racing. This is much more advanced.
If you looked at the group earlier on, which I put out, and I don't know if you're on the race group. I think you're just on the management group there. But I put a picture up of the original Tommy racing game, the Tommy Toys racing game, which was of course a steering wheel, a little screen which had a red graphic on it of a race car,
got time now,
and a shifter alongside.
Inside. I think you should get back
basically
into it,
that's where I learned to drive. So I put it up, and guys are going, hang on a second,
my race
showing your age
engineer,
now.
I'm going to say it's dangerous, Dave.
Well, listen,
hence the 10th place. I'm firing my race engineer off
game that I ever played, so don't worry about that. We've got about a minute and a half before we get into our
I don't have a race engineer.
warm-up lap.
I've got Google. That's my race engineer.
And our final heat, we've already had 3. We've got 18 drivers that have now qualified for tomorrow's Solidarity E-Race final. And then, of course, at the end of this, we're going to have a 5-lap shootout. 1 extra driver in the wild card will make our grid 25 for tomorrow night.
Well, I'm just looking down at those 24 cars. The one car that I do not see, which I was hoping and praying would be there, is the man that we've kind of bigged up the entire way through this process, and that would have been 10th place qualifier, Jonathan Machotsi. He's just popped in. There you go. Sure. As I called it, he popped in. So Machotsi has made it through. Now, the reason I'm calling Machotsi out as opposed to anybody else on this track is you see them lining up. Jonathan Machotsi is a man who started in gaming, and, of course, moved on to participating in various formats of actual motorsport out on tracks due to a program that's put in place by Volkswagen South Africa and Volkswagen Motorsport South Africa to ensure that drivers can get a chance to do what they want to do on a racetrack. He came from a PlayStation background, jumped into the driver search, won the driver search, won a drive in Volkswagen Polo Cup, and in his second season took his first victory in a National Championship Polo Cup race, and is now the official global touring car driver for Volkswagen Motorsport for the season as soon as it starts. So we're going to be having some fun and games here if Machotsi can get through, because he certainly knows what to do in a game as well as on this track particularly, as we're now 10 seconds out from the rolling start.
Yep, we got a rolling start. That is what your grid looks like. It is Ulrich Ensslin, Morgan McCall. Then we've got Bashir Jadwat, Leslie Oliphant, Bruno Cadilje, Tajbor, Kieran Patterson, Christopher Langefeld, Jeff Kruger, Gregory Fury, Jonathan Machotsi, making it your top 10.
Come on, Mr. Daly. Mr. Daly's my choice.
And it is number a rolling 24. Start. So Ulrich Ensslin is the man who can dictate the pace around
Ulrich's a professional esports racer for an overseas team.
The start-finish grid.
You can see them all doing their own livery as well, which is awesome with this game. You can actually set up your own race car livery. So each of them getting a chance to do that through the last 6 days of the hot laps. Mark van Rensburg is 11th. Mark Steyn is 12th. Nick Hodgson is 13. Michael van Rooyen with some work to do. He, of course, has podiumed at the official 9 hour, as opposed to what we're seeing here in the Intercontinental GT cars that raced in that 9 hour in November in 2019. So van Rooyen will be looking to come from 14th and make his way into at least the top 6. Hugo de Wit and Dylan Hall, Wayne Foss and George Veed.
If you got the PC,
in fact, I think it's our only
Superbike
rider.
It was 100 rand to join in.
Place.
Just join up.
Gerard Caldenes, who's going to be looking to possibly get up a little bit higher than Antoine did earlier on. Nicholas Saras and Dierwold Swanepoel with Peter Crayland, Richard Clark, Richard Daly, and right at the back, number 99, Colin Hasty. Oh my goodness, watch out for 99 in turn 1.
You know what? Go for it, Colin. I know you worked so hard, and the fact that he made it in the top 100, I think is just wonderful. So chuffed for Colin. I really, really hope he has a good race. He's got a long way to go to get in the top 6, but I think he'll just be racing to.
No, man, some of these guys are crazy fast. I don't know how these guys get so fast.
Heading through the F3 host S's at the moment and up towards Leopold. So expect some big battles through that part of the circuit as they get into race action proper.
In the race.
You can see in the background there, or just behind in second place, and even in the mid-pack here, guys swooping from left to right. Now, on a normal racetrack, of course, it's important to try and get as much heat into the rubber as possible. It is as vitally important to do it in the virtual version of this game as well, because Pirelli rubber, that is, of course, the chosen tyre manufacturer for Intercontinental GT, gives these guys the same look and feel as what they have on a real racetrack. So even though you think to yourself, hang on a second, this is only a game. Really? Do they have to sweep left and right to get heat in the rubber? Yes, they do. They actually have to do exactly what you would do in a normal race car here in the virtual world. Yeah, I tell you, it is quite amazing. I seem to have a little bit of a problem with my camera at the moment, Greg, so I might just disappear for a couple of seconds and then hopefully everything will return to normal. No worries, buddy. As they come out of Cheetah, heading towards Ingwe now, side by side, front row is Alaric and Morgan. And I can tell you now, Morgan and Alaric are going to be fighting it to the limit here. Alaric Ensslin going to be pushing it to as hard as he can in that Audi. He definitely wants to take a victory. He definitely wants to try and get a faster lap time than Zaire Issa to ensure that he gets the pole position tomorrow night. But Morgan McCall and Bashir Jadwat, Leslie Oliphant might just have their own plans. We have got Porsches and Audis all the way through the top 9. Lamborghini in 10th place with Machotzi at the wheel. Van Rensburg has gone with the Bentley. And then you see Steyn and Hodgson. Green lights, and we're racing.
Yeah, you got to get
and
a
they
wheel.
move right across almost instantaneously from Alaric Enslin. He cuts everybody off and heads down towards turn 1 on the outside, but it'll be the inside line for Crowthorne turn 2. The Porsche of Oliphant applying pressure and diving from the back of the field to second place possibly. He forces wide Morgan McCall. McCall tries to come back at him, but Oliphant is side by side as they come out of Yuxke. Has he been able to squeeze through? Yes, he has. Great move there from Leslie Oliphant as he moves up and gets up into second place by the looks of things. So that's how it's changed up. McCall and moving through there. In fact, no, McCall just getting to the better there and finding a way past. But look how tight it is now. Oliphant and McCall chopping and changing as they go into Sunset Corner. Side by side behind that, you've got Kadile and Jadwat. And Bashir Jadwat trying to force that Porsche into mistake. Can't quite make it stick in the clubhouse.
Going backwards.
The
Come on,
Audi onto the back end of 3 Porsches. Make it 4 as they head up in towards turn number 5 and 6.
The only game you can be very competitive with the controllers.
Absolutely brilliant stuff. The Porsches are the main machines in this one. There's no doubt about it. And you can see the Audis battling, but no worries at all for our lead Audi, Alaric Van Enselen, getting away.
Jadwat's going to get a penalty there.
And a spinner, and a tag, and 2 touches coming out on the top of the hill. And it looks like Kadile is the man who got caught up there. So, Bonzia, the Bon Noit. It wasn't a Bon Noit for you at all there. And another tag from behind. Couple of cars getting in the mix there. The aerial material shows us all those cars that got into that tag. They're now down into the Crocodiles. And they've eventually sorted themselves out. But what a start to the semi-final number 4. They come through now into Cheetah. From Cheetah, running a little bit wide, putting a wheel onto the dirty stuff. You don't want to be doing that because that's what it'll do to you. It'll cost you drive. And 2 Audis spinning out. There's Porsches and Audis crashing. Big time out at 14. Ingwe corner, seeing lots of action. Look at that. What a move. The 9 car of Kadile, the man who spun out at the top of the hill, has now been positioned
That's
right.
Why you don't drive the Audi, ladies and gentlemen.
As he comes across the line, and now oodles of ground ahead of him between the cars who got caught up in that action. So let's have a look and see how things sort themselves out. Enslin needs out. McCall is second. Oliphant is third at that point. But you can see things are changing as we go. Patterson up into 4th. Kadile is down into 5th place now with Farid moving up. And we see Van Rensburg in the Bentley close down on the back end there of Farid. So it looks like Gerald Farid might be in for a bit of a fight here with that big Bentley. Bashir Jadwat is top down 8th place. He's one of the Audis that's run out. Coming out at turn 14 in the corner. And then behind him is the Vitt. And then you can see Clark making up the top 10. Out of shape. Jane is the 9 Porsche. Man, he's having a tough time out there. And it looks like Bruno Kadile is going to have to...
Mr. Daly's up to 20th. Good stuff by him.
Otherwise, he's going to lose out big time. Alaric Enslin, McCall, top 2 at this stage. Oliphant in 3rd place. Madison is 4th. Kadile is 5th. Farid, 6th place. As Van Rensburg starts to apply the pressure now as they get up with the shot at the top of the vehicle.
Oh, Jadwat. I gave him the commentator's curse.
But
Plus 5
looks like he's just been given a 5-second penalty there for the collision that he caused into turn 14 Ingwe corner. So we are having a look and see how that all changes at class 6 under the scrutiny of the COC and our stewards. And he's been deemed to be the protagonist in that action. He's now putting much bigger pressure than what he did earlier on onto the back end of that other Audi he's fighting with. But look at that. Oh, man. The ball shut in his face in the big Bentley and doesn't line through. So Farid, Van Rensburg, Jadwat, all fighting hard here. That is 6th, 7th, and 8th place. The battle for the 6th place. Once again, he's here. The best action we're seeing all night has been to that 6th place battle. And it's because it is so vital to be into that top 6. Look at this. 240 km an hour before he climbed on the anchors. Great stuff there from Bashir Jadwat. Late braking on the back end of the Bentley. Can he find a way past? No, it looks like Van Rensburg is going to try and make that Bentley as wide as possible. Great move.
All right, Greg, I'm back. Sorry about that. I know how difficult it is doing it all on your own. I missed out. Budwat moved up to 7th place. Why did he get the 5-second penalty?
He caused an accident down in turn 14, unfortunately, Sash, and a couple of
Christopher
cars
Maynard,
broken
we're
out by
watching
his,
the Solidarity E-Race
so he's got
race
the 5
number
second
4.
penalty. He's still fighting there for 7.
I raced in race
He's
number
not
3.
out
I
of the
ended up
race
in
yet, because
10th.
remember, if he
So
makes
I
up
won't
that
be in
5
the
seconds
final tomorrow,
and gets ahead of Van
unfortunately.
Rensburg and De Wit by the tune of 5
So we're
seconds,
watching
he
the
could
4th
still hang
race
on
at the
to a
moment.
potential top 6.
I'm just cross-streaming their stream,
and
and
you saw how excited
doing
he
that
was,
because
and
for
how
me to try
awesome
and
it is
keep
to
up,
be
it's
involved
difficult.
in this incredible little race.
So these are all South Africans.
Yeah,
They're racing for
100%. We're on
10,000
board here
rand
with Leslie
grand prize.
Oliphant, who's sitting in 3rd place, and he's right behind McCall. Enslin looks to be very, very comfortable out in front. So those are the guys to watch out for. Jadwat got it all to do. He's a second behind Farid, so we're going to have to watch him. Leslie Oliphant, there we go, pushing hard with that Porsche.
Well, if Jadwat
one
didn't
Porsche
make
on
the
another
semis,
Porsche.
then
Ooh, a
I'm
little
pretty
bit
cool.
wide coming out of Ingwe corner. Going to go into the Ingwe, into the kink, and then of course a flat out speed. Will he try and dive down the inside or maybe go on the outside? You've got 2 different lines that go in here. Great defensive driving there from McCall. Oliphant just staying right on his backside as we go into barbecue. This is such a wonderful corner as the guys get onto the power as hard and as quickly as possible. You want to make your way a little bit to the left-hand side of the track.
Samikio,
Going
Armin
into set.
Foxcroft,
Nothing.
Octavio Almendaros,
Checking on
Rodriguez,
Jadwat's.
Mr. Olds with the 50 stars. Sorry, I
Just
didn't even
half
see
a
that.
second
Mahmoud
behind,
Taser.
but he's got
Mr. Olds are going to run out of money giving us all
I'm
these
just going to check
stars.
that the
Thank you so
microphone's not
much.
working, Sash. Looks like I picked up a little bit on my headset. So coming to you live now out of the microphone from the laptop in front of me. Bren, if you're happy with that, just let me know. So it looks like everything good to go here. And of course, Enslin now just pulling away to the tune of 2.5 seconds ahead of McCall. Morgan McCall hasn't had an answer there to Ulrich Enslin, and he's doing everything right. We may need to pick up on him a little bit later on just to see what his lap times are like. But the battle now for 3rd place, Oliphant and Patterson having a great run at. Not staying a bit further back there. He's fighting for just outside of the top 10. He's down in 12th place and doing a super job there in the Audi. He's also starting to close down on Jonathan Mokotsi, who's just ahead of him. Now remember, Mokotsi is the only driver out of all of these semi-finals, I think, who have gone with the Lamborghini option. So that's a bit of a gamble that Jonathan has taken, and it's kept him out of the top 10 for now. I don't think he's going to be able to make up the ground to get into that top 6 hunt. But nice to see Mokotsi flying the flag high there for Volkswagen Motorsport, and of course driving in one of their sister brands there, the Lamborghini.
Yeah, he is a good 5 seconds behind Jeff Kruger. Jeff Kruger right in the back of, there we go, we cross to the pictures, right in the back of De Wit. So he's got quite a bit to do is Jeff Kruger, but he's definitely got the ability and the acumen to do it. So let's watch him pretty carefully. I think just now we've got to see what Enslin times are, because Oliphant is doing a 140.4. So Enslin wants to do 140.3 or better to get pole position for tomorrow night's race. He's got a 2.5 second gap over Morgan McCall. So good stuff. Jadwat is now up into 6th place. He's 1.2 seconds ahead of Van Rensburg. So he needs to make up 3.5 seconds in the next 8 minutes in order to hold that position and make sure that he qualifies for tomorrow night's final.
77 has just been given a draft penalty by the looks of things as well.
G29 right to the back is the way to go, my friend. It's for the money. You cannot go better. You can't get better for the price.
I was just saying,
it's what I'm running right now. Guys have all sorts of stuff. They were posting on the drivers group. Some of them have Fanatec DD wheels.
In the Lamborghini.
Some of them have some really amazing stuff.
Solidarity E-Race, not the original Polo Cups that these guys fought in. 2 protagonists and 2 championship rivals going at it for 9th and 10th.
Well, I tell you, if you just tuned in, you might have thought that these guys have up their ante quite a bit. Sure, bouncing over the curves there, but Bashir Jadwat just driving, going crazy. He's lost 5.5 seconds to Cadilia, but he's still 1.1 seconds ahead of Van Rensburg. He's got a lot to do in the next 7 minutes, that's for sure, as Bashir Jadwat, but he's got that 5-second penalty. He needs to make up another 3.5 seconds over Van Rensburg.
Yeah, he's got the 6th place, which is important. Now, if he can just bridge the gap to the 5-second penalty that he's going to get incurred at the end, he might be able to still hang on to that 6th position and give Van Rensburg a bit of a run for his money. He's got clean air with him now. We're now following, of course, Leslie Oliphant a bit further back there. He's currently lapping in the 140.9s. his best lap time, and of course his current lap time is a 1:41 dead. So not a bad lap time coming out of the Porsche. Off on the sideline there, one of the cars. Looks like we had a bit of an issue there. Green flags though into the AFRI hostesses, and we continue here with Leslie Oliphant. It's kind of like a sort of a light blue coloured Porsche he's gone with as they get to the top of the hill, like a sky blue. And behind
I never used the G27 pedals, but I really like the G29 pedals. That's the nice thing about them is they can be easily modded. It's quite expensive to go into stuff from overseas.
Your good Portuguese friend, there, Cadile, has been incredible.
But it's pretty good. The G29, the wheel is nicer than the G27
that happened at the top of the hill at Leeuwkop. So he's been very lucky to stay there. The car is still stricken on the outside there. I'm not quite sure if that's Veed. I think it possibly is. George Veed might be on the sideline and parked out of this one. And I said it was one of the only two-wheel action guys that are
Mr.
involved.
Daly up to 17th from 24th. He's doing very well so far.
And George Veed were entered into this competition. They were the only two-wheelers and motorbike riders who entered. But it was great to have them on, and just a pity to lose him there on the sideline down in 22nd.
Yeah, we're on board with Wayne Foss, who is holding
I would love to get a
chasing,
like a Fanatec would be a great wheel, but
Clark
it's
at the moment,
impossible to get them.
position.
I looked into
He's about 3 seconds down the road from Mokotsi. Mokotsi's dropped back another position, unfortunately.
But thanks to my good friends at Logitech,
struggling a little bit.
I don't need anything more than my beautiful G29.
Bashir Jadwar, he's dropped down to 9th.
We're going to be doing a whole bunch of Logitech stuff.
Something definitely happened to him.
Yeah, I can tell you what's happening there with him. He's probably overdriving now, trying to get that rhythm back, and is making silly and uncalculated, unusual mistakes for a man of his caliber.
Jadwar's also going slowly because the front of his car doesn't look like a normal front of car.
Is not something we saw Bashir Jadwar doing in the hot laps. He was pinpoint perfect.
Sorry, man, Jason, that sucks,
literally into every corner perfectly. So,
what wheel are you running? Because it seems like these more high-end wheels
temperament that might be catching him out
seem to end up.
Yeah, very much so. The guy to watch is
G29, on the other hand.
He's
nudge, wink, wink.
This is Van Rensburg, who's now in 6th position, and 4 seconds down the road from him is Jeffrey Kruger. So Jeff Kruger's got quite a bit to do in the next 4 minutes.
Are you talking about PS5? I'm pretty sure they will.
To get
Logitech
into that final for tomorrow evening.
They're usually pretty first or pretty early on in building PS4 peripherals.
Hopefully Jeff Kruger
so
will
I'm
have a little
sure
bit of
they're going to have something, but I think
get himself into that
you won't see anything until the PS5 announcement.
As we go back a bit further back in the field there to, I think that is the number 9, Peter Craylen. So a nice bit of driving here from Peter Craylen. A nice livery on that car as well, completely different to what you'd normally see on an Audi. I suppose every man for himself as he heads down through Leeuwkop and down the second fastest part of the circuit. Dierwald Swanepoel as well.
Going right off the track there.
Yeah. I think they might be teammates if you look at the livery on those two cars.
There's a lot of damage on some of these cars.
Similar color on. But of course, the two of them finished up out of the 22nd stash, which was 89th and 90th in the top 100. So they are pretty evenly matched, those two cars.
Yeah, very much so. Only 22 runners out of our 25 that started in this heat. We've got 3.5 minutes to go of this final.
Doubt it. Usually they make them incompatible, so you spend a whole bunch more money. I might be wrong, but the PS5 should have PS4 backward compatibility.
Try and get right up there. He's also a very impressive timer, 140.7. So this
I will let you know as soon as I do, though. And
the fastest out of the
we got Logitech
so
and I should actually put Logitech.
Yeah, there is.
I can't put Logitech in the top right corner.
They're starting to smoke up that pressure or apply it to the man or competitor behind them or in front of them. Cadillac now pushing it to the limit in the Starco esports car. Also of his trying to close down there on Patterson. Patterson not too far up the road.
This race.
And Patterson running, if I'm not mistaken, and I'll stand to be corrected, but the Porsche that he's running in and the livery that he's running in is the same livery that actually took the victory at the Kyle Army 9 out. And I could be mistaken on that one, but I think I might be right on it. I'm not quite sure what the team name of that particular outing was, of course, but that's definitely the livery that was on top of the podium. So with 2 minutes and 20 seconds to go, they crossed the line, Kadelia and Patterson, with Van Rensburg just a little bit further back on them. But it is Ensslin, McCall, Oliphant, Patterson, Kadelia, and Van Rensburg who are in the pound seats right now. Is there any chance Jeff Kruger and find a way to close down on that big Bentley ahead of him? He is now 3.8 seconds adrift with 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, no headway, unfortunately. We're looking at Bashir, who seems to have found his rhythm again. He's going to try and get up there, but he's not going to make the top
some
6,
TLC now, but
the
for the
guy
amount
to
of
watch
time
here,
I've
I've got
driven
to say,
it,
is Morgan
probably
McCall.
driven this more
He's
than
only
my car in the last 6 years.
1.7 seconds behind Alaric Ensslin, and he's really been pushing extremely hard. Not too sure if Enslin's just maybe taking it easy with only a minute and a half to go. Here's Bashir Jadwat, and pushing hard on the Aston as they go into sunset. Let's see if his experience and his virtual reality headset gets him past a bit. Oh, he's going to go. A little break, late in the brakes.
He's pushing it to the limit there, trying to find a way past on David, but I think David might just have him marked and sorted. Looking through that back as well, Steyn and Darius, and then Mahoti's down into 12th, so he's lost a lot of ground. It's a big pity to lose him, though. But the battle continuing here between Jadwat. He's got to try and find a way through. Can he do it now on the brakes up into Leopold? No. The Aston says no. Oh, no, he runs wide. That might just open up the door. David might lose out here on the second fastest part of the circuit. Down that pure storage mine shaft. As they come through there, they are side by side through the street. That is some big cojones to hang on side by side. But there eventually David pulls out and Jadwat forces his way past. Aggressive driving coming from Jadwat, but it paid off in the end.
Yeah, and some brilliant driving from both of them. They could have both taken each other out. Some great driving. A guy you've got to say who's done an incredible job is Nicholas Darris. Started in 20th position and is all the way up there in 11th. So superb drive from Nicholas Darris. Has done a really good job in that beautiful livery Audi as well. So looks very much like the Van der Linde car from the 9 hour.
Correct. Yeah, it's got the zebra stripes that the Van der Linde car had. Exactly that. So he's gone with a bit of a South African feel to it. Sash. Spot on and good eyes there as he heads down to Crowthorne Corner. We go back to Bruno Codile, who has not quite caught onto the back end of Patterson and has not caught Olifant. So we've literally got an Audi out front, which I don't think anybody's going to catch. With he's on his last lap, and Olifant, Patterson, and Padilla are going to make it 4 Porsches in the top 6. Van Rensburg, I think, is going to have enough here just to keep out Jeff Kruger. Kruger's going to be a little bit disappointed he didn't make the top 6, but what a drive here from this young man. Look at that, 141.049 his last lap. Unfortunately, his best lap though is only as I get a little information coming over my screen quickly, 140.6 there, Sash. That might only be good enough for the second row, right?
Yeah, very much so. I expected him to be a little bit quicker. I'm actually looking forward to seeing what Morgan McCall's lap time is, because he's only 1.3 seconds off the pace at present. But a great victory. Well done to Alaric Ensslin. Wins the race. A superb drive from him. Morgan McCall in second. Olifant, Patterson, Kadile, and Van Rensburg. Those are our top 6 drivers that'll make it to the final. Eventually made it up to 8th, but still incurs a 5-second
GT Sport
penalty.
came out almost 3 years ago now.
Fantastic driving there as well.
I've been streaming that for a year and a half.
The mix-up with Porsches coming through there again, but also great to see
a
little Aston Martin getting up there too. A bit of action at the back end here with still Mahotsi to come through by the looks of things.
Damn it.
Mahotsi still coming to the line. He's going to go right through all the smoke and fireworks and finish up things as high up as he wanted. So top-class stuff and top-class action coming out of these drivers. Ensign from McCall, 3rd place going there to Leslie Olifant.
Ladies and gentlemen.
4th place, 5th place to Bruno Cadile.
Out of here.
And eventually in the 6th spot is Mark van Rensburg.
So I don't know what happens now.
So well done to Mark van Rensburg to get that Bentley. I think it's the only British car who's made it into the top 6 so far.
Yeah, I think, on the closing down, that bit, Hasty just backing everyone.
Somebody to take out, eh?
Listen, he started 20. He started 21st, he finished 18th.
Still there, my
very
friend.
happy with that. And, 3 seconds off the pace, but I'm sure he'll be pretty happy.
Let's see what happens. I actually don't know what is going to happen at the moment.
Top 6 is instant.
But I think... When's his wildcard race? That's what I don't know.
There we go. Interesting information. Morgan McCall was faster. Even though he finished behind him on the track, he was faster in terms of his lap ahead of Alaric Ensslin. So Morgan McCall could well be, if I try and remember over the 4 heats, could well be in about, could start in second position tomorrow night. So we're in for a cracking game. Wow.
Yeah, amazing stuff. Just to run through across that top 6. Ulrich Enslin ahead of Morgan McCall. McCall quickest, as we just said now, so brilliant stuff from him. Leslie Oliphant in 3rd place, 4th place to Kieran Patterson. Bruno Cadile there in 5th and beating out Mark van Rensburg for the top 6 in semi-final number 4. Now, race action is not done yet. We do have an invitational race. I'm not quite sure how many cars are coming into this invitational race, but we'll soon see what that's going to be. There's a 5-minute qualifying and then a 5-minute sprint race to dictate who is going to be the 25th driver for tomorrow night's 2 final races and the wild card. So I'm looking forward to seeing who's going to come and jump into that one. I wonder if there's going to be a couple of the sort of Jeff Krugers, Michael van Rooyen's, possibly even the guys who had issues earlier on. Remember, we lost Luke Lachesi. We lost the possibility of seeing Jason Absmeyer with a problem on his steering wheel. Absmeyer could be a big factor there. Chris Shorter, hopefully, will get back in time and hopefully put in a time that'll get him to the front end and hopefully also put him into that wildcard position.
Yeah, listen, it's one of those things. I mean, also, thanks so much for the comments that are coming through. I can't, I've only got 2 eyes and I've got all these different screens over here. But Tiago dos Santos Serra say, what can I say? This is so cool. You're right, Tiago. We also think it's so cool as well. It's just been terrific. And got to say to Brendan, our director, who's putting it all together and pushing all the buttons there, superb job, Brendan. Thank you very much for your effort as well.
Yeah, the EFX team are superb, there's no doubt about it. But I just got a comment coming through on the E-Race WhatsApp group with all the drivers. They're saying, can we enter the wild card? I think you have to be chosen. Cool. See you now. And then eventually the marksman, Neil Marks, who we gathered to in the early stages of this competition, said, why don't we just make it a 100-car grid?
Yeah, we can have the 100 cars at the top of Leerkop, and then they can start that way. I'm just getting jealous, Greg, because I see you with a cup of coffee, so I'm just making myself a cup of coffee. Don't worry about the noise in the background. These are the guys.
Okay, so it looks like there's only 10 cars that have jumped into the session, but it is an invitation. I think it's an open invitation. Absmeyer's in there. Luceshi's in there. That's very important, those two. Jordan Sherritt's in there as well. He also has issues. Krobler, of course, got penalised in his heat. Van Jabir got penalised in his heat, so he's back in it. Looks like Avis is coming as well, so a good drive there from him. Hopefully looking for a chance to get up into there. And of course, it's not the top 6 now. He has to win. You've got to win this race if you want to get into the wild card position and 25th tomorrow on the grid.
Well, there we go. We've got 10 entries so far. I don't know if we'll get any more, but I mean, that is a pretty impressive lineup, considering the guys who did have issues in some of the other
Mr.
heats.
So,
yeah, this is going to be fun. Whoa, who is that? Johnny Jan Krobler. Maybe he's got some friends there in the crowd.
Jan Krobler getting out of shape. That's my favourite part of this. If you're watching it from the outside, ladies and gents, if you do make a mistake and you see what Johan Krobler just did there, it's literally a push of the button on your console. And boom, you are reloaded back into pit lane with no damage to your car.
Let's see.
That's every racer's dream there.
Exactly. Yeah. And you don't have to replace any panels at any cost as well. The car looks so impressive. Car number 90, Jason Absmeyer, who had issues earlier, and he's definitely somebody that we did expect to be in the top. He's just done a 141.1, so goes fast as he's 3/10 ahead of Jordan Sherritt. So this is a qualifying session, and then this will determine. We've got 9 cars now, and this will determine how they start on the grid.
That's the wrong password, that's why.
Eminem Joubert from, of course, our prize sponsors, TGN Racing Simulators. He's in this one as well as he heads down towards turn 1 and 2. Through the kink and towards Crowthorne. Hopefully going to be in with a chance of making the top end of the race by the time the 5 minutes is up. We've got a minute and a half of qualifying and practice to go. Qualifying is not really a qualifying session, it's just a free practice session here for these guys, just to get their eye back in and ready to go for the next 5 minutes of action way shortly.
Well, I mean, these times that they are posting now is going to determine the grid. So Absma and Sherritt looking very, very strong. The Lucchese as well. So sure, all to play for and only 5 laps to do it in. So that's going to be very, very tight. Avis and De Wet haven't set times as yet. They have a minute of this free practice to get themselves onto the grid.
Last race of the evening, ladies and
I think
gentlemen.
there's only about 50 seconds for anybody else to come and jump in. So if Michael van Rooyen and Jeff Kruger are still available, they may still have a chance to jump in here and still have a go to take the win. It's going to be a tough to beat Jason Absma or Jordan Sherritt, looking at the way that they've come into this wild card shootout. Remember, it's not the top 6 we're looking at now. It's only first place. First place or nothing.
Yeah, this is what it's all about. This, I'm looking forward to turn 1. That's all I can say. I think it's going to be brilliant.
Nice, Jason Martinengo. You are like every other South African motorsport fan, or any motorsport fan in the world. All you come to see is the carnage that could potentially happen.
Oh, no. That's definitely that's definitely not me.
I know you do a Woman Crush Wednesday every Wednesday.
Yeah, but it's definitely. I just sit there and say, who's going to have the biggest kahunas going into turn 1? That's what I'm looking for.
Exactly that. Watch this. Quick reload. Bang. Straight back into pit lane and we're all sorted. So Van Jabert now waiting to go. He's doing a little adjustment to the car there. That's why the car's turned from an angle to parallel to the pit box. Absma, though, was quickest in this free practice session with 1.5 minutes to go. I don't know if we're going to have anybody else out there. We got 6 cars in there, so there's 4 cars on track. Checkered flag for Lucchese, for Mitchell, for Jabert. So it looks like we're almost good to go here and go straight into the wild card shootout.
There we go. Wyatt Avis on track at the moment, trying to put a time in. He's currently in 9th position, even though he hasn't set a time, but it would have been determined of when he got out of the track. So he's going to have to set a time now because he's only got a minute left before we start. Oh, okay. We're just getting some confirmation. This is a free practice session, so my apologies for that. Then we have a 5-lap qualifying race, and then a 5-lap sprint as well. So there we go.
Look and see a couple other guys jumping in as well. Kruger's just jumped in to make it 11 cars now. That, of course, is not Jeff Kruger. It's the other Kruger. I think it's Blake Kruger, who's just jumped in the Lamborghini.
Okay, so these have been invited to take part in this final 5-lap qualifying session. Hey, I'm going to wave and say hello to my son. My son has just joined watching from the UK. So nice to have him along. He should have been entering into this competition. He's got all of the toys. So maybe he'll do it the next time. So this is a 5-lap, or it's a 7-minute qualifying session. It was 8 minutes. All of the guys go out there wherever they qualify and whatever time where they start on the grid for this 5-lap winner takes all shootout.
I tried to get in, guys, but I couldn't get in.
Yeah, so we'll take you through the qualifying session here first, and then, of course, get an opportunity to show how it goes and how it all works for the 5-lap sprint race. There was a call to, of course, try and get Jeff Kruger and Michael van Rooyen in, but unfortunately, I think they were just too late. It did kind of hinder the semi-final 4 drivers from getting an opportunity because they literally come off the race and have to then reset everything and get back in. But needless to say, the organizer's decision is final. It was an invitation as it was stated. So the invitation has been sent out to these 11 drivers. They are now going to qualify for the 6.5 minutes or so, and then we'll get a 5-minute race to go.
Yeah, it's coming down to it, and it's amazing, Greg. You know, when you sit and think, you know, we had 100 qualifiers. We've now got 24 drivers that make it through to the final. This is the joy and the hardship of motor racing. Sometimes you're just not fast enough. You just don't make it. It means you have to go out there and try it again. It's like real life as well.
100%. So if we look at the guys who've already gone through so far, according to what I've got, Charles Wilkin, Devin Leisha, Diovolt Brummer, Mark Henbury, Hilton Peters, and Vanna Hinop from semi-final 1 Semi-final 2 sees Rob Whiting, Mark Antle, Lorenzo Gutteri, Daniel Skuman, Leon van Wyk, and Wesley Ferrant will make it through there. It's here Essa, Quade Claessens, Julian Familiaris, Lane Hutchins, and Jared Van Bergen, who went through from semi-final 3. Ulrich Ensslin, Morgan McCall, Leslie Oliphant, Bruno Cadile, Kieran Patterson, and Art van Rensburg. Those are your top 24. 11 cars on track right now. Could be the 25th driver for tomorrow night's 2 finals in the grand finale.
Yeah, we've got 2 Porsches, 1 Lamborghini, 1 Honda, and the rest are Audis. So who's going to make it? We don't have a Japanese manufacturer in our top 24. So let's see if they can upset the apple cart. But you've got to believe guys like Sherritt, Absmeyer, Lucchesi are, in my opinion, those are the 3 that are definitely the ones to watch.
Yeah, I think those are definitely going to be the ones to keep an eye on. Stash, you're spot on, and watching how things go. It looks like I'm getting some comments coming from the sideline from the Lotus Register. Of course, Jeff Kruger is a 4-time back-to-back national Lotus champion. So they were all saying, "Oh, why is Jeff not in it? Was he too late?" I said, "Yeah, unfortunately, it looks like he was." And of course, he didn't quite crack the invitation for the entrance here for the wild card. I'm sure that the boys over at Toyota Gazoo Racing, who have been watching Michael van Rooyen and hoping and praying he could try and squeeze through into the top 6, could possibly have got into this final 2. Looks like Martin Beed is out there too. It's great to have him getting an opportunity. We saw his brother fighting it out earlier on. And of course, those are the 2 boys that come from a 2-wheel background. So we've got some superbike riders in the house. He's gone with the 102, which means, of course, he was the second of our drivers on standby to bump up into the top 100. And, of course, when a couple of guys have pulled out, as we saw with Chris Shorter and the likes, it gives him a chance now to possibly spoil the day here for a couple of the drivers at the front end. I don't expect to see Veed there. He's pretty good on a 600cc and on a 1000cc motorcycle, but I don't know if that Audi is going to be too much for him to handle as we're watching Byron Mitchell, one of our single-seater drivers, coming from Cape Town, making his way out of Leeuwkop and down the mineshaft.
Yep, and we've only got 3 minutes left of the session. We've got 12 competitors now that'll take part in our 5-lap shootout. Currently, Lucchesi the fastest, so 1:41.1. Times are a little bit slow, Greg, compared to maybe what we expected. You're looking at maybe the 140.6s, 140.7s is where I believe you think you need to be.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. You've got to be into those 140s to be on the front 10, that's for sure. Lap times at this stage, 41.1, 41.7, 42.1, 42.9, 44.9. Those are certainly not going to be good enough. Right now, it looks like the battle is going to be between Lucchesi, Krobler, Mitchell, and probably Absmeyer. Absmeyer is not out there at the moment, but Absmeyer certainly will be a man to watch out for if he's able to get everything sorted out, unfortunately, with that issue earlier on.
Yeah, as you can see the splits as well. Lucchesi definitely on it in his Audi R8. We've still got 2 minutes left, which means that strongly if you get through the timing beacon now, you'll be able to get 2 laps in. So Absmeyer goes top all of a sudden. There we go. You called it right, Greg, in the Porsche, and he's at 3/10 or 2.5 tenths ahead of Lucchesi. So the cream definitely rising to the top. Got to watch out for Jordan Sherritt. He hasn't posted a time yet as well. He's a guy we should be expecting up in the top 3 or 4 as well.
Sherritt was really pushing hard in his initial heat and was certainly a man to keep an eye on. So I think Jordan Sherritt, as we pick up on him coming down the mineshaft now, he'll be looking to try and get up at least into the second row, if not onto the front row with Absmeyer or Lucchesi. And Krobler is probably his target. So let's have a look and see as he comes out of the crocodiles now, if he's able to improve on what is down in 9th place at the moment. But this, of course, is his first hot lap. His last one was a 1:44.8. That was just his out lap. He'll be looking to at least get into the 140s or at least a low 141 to ensure he's on those front 2 rows.
Yeah, here we go. Jordan Sherritt going to cross over the line. His last lap was a 140.9. So right up there, Lucchesi goes quick as now with the 140.8 as well. This is what qualifying is about. I love this stuff.
Yeah, that's what it's all about, Ash. The kind of pressure that comes out, of course, comes from being involved in circuit racing for a long, long time. Jordan Sherritt, a multiple karting champion in his own right down in KwaZulu-Natal. He actually spends a huge amount of time. He's got a racing stable down at the kart circuit in KwaZulu-Natal, known as Idubi. So he's had plenty of time at that track and has taken on some of SA's finest karters, and some of even ex and former world karting champions have been bettered and beaten by Jordan Sherritt at his home track on numerous occasions. So watch out for him. He's into third place overall, behind Absmai and Luceti, but put the pressure onto them.
Look at that, Greg. The top three are split by 700ths of a second. So there is nothing between Lucchesi, Absmai, and Sherritt. Those are the three that we said watch out for. It's a winner-take-all race. Sure, this is going to be very, very tough for them. I see Jeff Kruger's just arrived. Is it Jeff Kruger?
It is. Jeff Kruger's place.
Yes.
If he's got there in time, though, I don't think he's set a time, so I'm not quite sure if he's been able to give that to or been able to get on there in time. We'll wait and see. Very good possibility.
Last race of the evening for these guys, everybody.
Okay, it's on track at present. There's still
we'll also be showing the race again tomorrow.
The end of the session, so
I'm not going to be doing the stream tomorrow. We're just going to be cross-posting this.
From Jeff Kruger, his last lap was a 2:19, so that was an outlap. So let's see what Jeff Kruger can do. Can he get himself in the mix? Those top three, 700ths of a second between them, and then a half-second gap to Mitchell in fourth place. We're on board with Jeff Kruger, one of our wild card entries in our wild card 5-lap shootout to see who becomes the 25th entrant for the race tomorrow evening. Man, this has been so exciting this whole evening. I actually can't wait for the finals now.
I think a lot of people are in the same boat. I think there's he hasn't set a lap, so I don't know if he's going to be able to make it there. No, he's out. Or maybe they're going to put him into 14th place. Let's wait and see as we now get into the start procedure. A minute there. And there you can see both Sash and I waiting on the edges of our seat. Final race of the night there, Martinengo. I think we're going to be in for a big one here. Just a reminder to everybody, the top the winners of each of the semi-finals are going to be given, of course, 500 Rand courtesy of AfriHost for all the efforts that they put in for tonight. We'll get them up to you straight after this heat is done. And, of course, we'll then get to see who the 25th and final driver is to make it into tomorrow night's two final races. It's a 10-minute sprint race tomorrow and then straight into a 20-minute mini enduro. So even longer and more time out on track for these guys to go to battle. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 cars on the track. So Jeff Kruger is in there. He's at the back, and he's going to have to work hard from the back there. You can see him just at the back right-hand side under the Data Sciences Corporation banner there, and he'll be pushing to try and get to the front as soon as possible.
Yep, there we go. It's the warm-up lap. It is an 8-minute, roughly about 5 laps. Absmai on pole position, Lucchesi, Sherritt. These three are going to be hammer and tongs against each other. Nothing between them in that qualifying race. You just cannot afford to make a mistake in this level of competition. I must say, Greg, overall, the standard of driving has been exceptional from all of these drivers. It really, really has been impressive.
Yeah, they've behaved really nicely, and I think hardly any work to be done there by our COC and steward, Jason Holden-Jones. He's, of course, one of the top gamers in this country and spends a lot of time doing what you and I normally do in the commentary booth for the normal format that they put together. Him and all the gaming world have been set alight by what we've done here over the last 10 days, and I think there's been a lot of interaction via all forms of social media platforms and media in general. I mean, if you take into account, just as a matter of interest, Sash, where in the world have you seen South African motorsport being covered by certain Sunday newspapers? And for the likes of the Sunday Times and the Sunday Tribune to give an article about online racing and the Solidarity E-Race shows you that we've certainly created a massive buzz amongst everybody in the motoring industry.
Yeah, it's wonderful to see, and I'm so glad, and I hope a lot more of our print journalists and online journalists start embracing the South African motorsport scene again, and let's create that buzz again, even if it has to start here from gaming. Let's make sure that when the circuits do all open, we do get people excited again.
And a reminder to everybody that what we're doing here this evening and tomorrow night and what we've done for the last 6 days with the hot laps is all for a very, very good cause. The Solidarity Fund is what we're raising funds for here. 50% of all the funds raised on this competition have been put directly into that Solidarity Fund to help people in need here during the tough times that coronavirus has brought to South Africa. And it just shows you, and I say it every single time, with the amount of times that I've done fundraising or done events or done 24-hour superbike races or whatever, the motorsport industry is such a great bunch of people, and they are always willing to get behind initiatives of that nature.
Yeah, it's wonderful to see, and let's also just hope, Greg, that it also sort of picks up the appetite of a whole lot of other motorsport people who are involved in the game, that they get involved with this as well.
Yeah, that's exactly it. So we're coming out of Cheetahs now. You can see them forming up side by side on their respective rows of the grid. It's Absma and Luseshi that are in the front there, or Luseki. I'm not quite sure you say that one. Sash, you jump in there, but Lucchesi, there we go. Lucchesi, Sherritt and Mitchell, Krobler and Jabert, Ecote and Kruger, Isherwood and Wiblin, Avis, Martin Veed, and right at the back, keep an eye out on Jeff Kruger. I've seen Jeff Kruger come from the back of the grid to win races in the past in Polo Cup. Let's see if he's able to do it now in the final race of the night for the Solidarity E-Race. It is the wild card heat. Green flag, and we're racing. What a move. Look at that. Jordan Sherritt pulling out right from the word go, trying to find a way through. And he goes alongside Mitchell, also going around the outside, looking for a way to get on the inside line, possibly, as they get down into Coastal. There's a touch. The two Audis have come together. And fortunately, I think Absmeyer might have got through there and just hung on to the lead. Is it the grey Porsche out front? It is. Absmeyer leads as they go through into Yuxka and up towards Barbecue. On his tail is the 5-5 of Jordan Sherritt. And Sherritt just forcing his way and pushing through on Lucchesi down, I think, into second by the look of things now. Has he got through back on Sherritt? No. Sherritt's ahead of it. Lucchesi has dropped down in fourth place, and Mitchell is in third.
So I think the winner of this race is going into the wild
in his helmet at the moment with that move, but it seemed just hard. It didn't seem a problem, and Lucchesi under all sorts of attack here from Krobler as they go into the S's. He manages to hold it, goes really, really wide. Krobler nearly loses it with Earcoat coming through to him as well. This is a really, really tough. We had a yellow flag there for a second. Look at this Porsche of Krobler coming up on the outside, going into Leerkop, and he opens the door for Earcoat. So coming on the run down to through the mine shaft. Oh, look at them bashing doors and windows and side mirrors together. It is a winner takes all. You've got to go for it.
Yeah, there's no holds barred now for the next 6.5 minutes. We've got to go at it for 5 laps of action here as they come down into Cheetah Corner, heading down towards the final turn of this first lap. Absmeyer from Sherritt, Mitchell in third place. Lucchesi is the man who lost out there big time. The battle for fifth place is Krobler. He's got Ecote all over the back of him there in the fourth of the Audis on our circuit. Veed is up into seventh, the motorcycle rider just ahead, and Kruger, incredibly, is already up into eighth place, and only 0.8 of a second off the back end of Martin Veed.
Yeah, superb start there from Jeff Kruger, and I tell you, Sherritt, Mitchell, and Absmeyer, nothing between the three of them. This is going to go down to the wire with only just under 6 minutes to go. Lucchesi will be kicking himself with the move, and I said, watch out for turn one, and that was what happened.
Yeah, you're spot on there, but there was a lot of action down into turn one, and of course, it continues now as they head out of turn 4 and 5. Brilliant stuff out of Sunset. Jordan Sherritt trying to keep it all together there, and he doesn't want to make any mistakes, but he does have to take the attack and go on the attack to Jason Absmeyer. Absmeyer pulling away to the tune of a second after lap number 1 was completed. Jordan Sherritt is losing ground, so Sherritt has to go and fight as hard as he can. Absolutely brilliant stuff. Sherritt there into second, and of course Byron Mitchell, where he's found the space from. I wish he had it earlier on, because he then wouldn't have to fight as hard as what he's having to fight now. We know that Lucchesi had some problems, so he's going to have to work a little bit harder than what he is right now. I think he's not going to have enough time here to close down on those front three unless something goes wrong.
Yeah, Lucchesi having a look down the inside of Mitchell made up a lot of time coming out of Leerkop. Jeff Kruger seems to have made a bit of a mistake lost quite a bit of time and beat right on the back of him. We're on board with Craig Earco, and he's right behind Grobela, so pushing pretty hard. Lucchesi pushing Mitchell very hard. Absmeyer a second ahead of Jordan Sherritt. Sherritt going to have to up the ante with Masobi only about 3 laps to go to end this 5-lap shootout.
Yeah, about 3 laps to go. They're actually spot on. Let's see if they can keep it all together now as they head down into Crowthorne Corner. Much further back there, Eco is still fighting there with Jeff Kruger, who's just ahead of him, and just behind him, I should say. Kruger now trying to close down on the back end of Eco. Casey, though, has found a way to close down on Mitchell. Look at that. We're on board with him now as they head to the back there. Have a look and see if he lifts for Kruger, or a little comfort lift, and then back on the hard pedal. Try and close the gap even more on Byron Mitchell, the man from Cape Town, usually in a single-seater, but now in that Audi, a similar machine to what the man behind him is in. And the onboard shot just shows you how tight it gets and how hard these drivers have to work. It's working probably as hard, if not harder, looking at the technology that's available here to these drivers that you would in a normal race car.
Yeah, Luke Lucchesi, I tell you, had to get hard on the brakes going into the S's. Now they're getting into Leocorp at the top of the hill, the highest part of the Kyalami circuit. This is going to be a proper drag race down as they make their way into the Crocodiles. I've got a feeling that Lucchesi is going to try and dive down the inside. Oh, he has a look, gets blocked up. No, is he going to go for it? No, he backs out of it. No, he's got him. And it's going to be a straight race coming through the Cheetah. A little bit of bumping and bashing, but Lucchesi does get through. And he goes wide as well as they're coming to Ingwe. Now it's going to be a long drag race all the way down to Crowthorne.
Yeah, well, I can see there was a bit of manoeuvring happening there, a little bit of argy-bargy rubbings racing between Lucchesi and Mitchell. Mitchell now trying to come and return the favour. That he's right in the slipstream. You can't get closer to the back end of that R8 than what we saw Byron Mitchell doing. He pulls out, tries to take a little wide and late apex coming into Crowthorne. He's a good drive forward to escape. Too definitely hard, and if they're not careful, he's right behind them. Corsa is coming along
Yeah, I tell you, some great driving from both of these drivers, but Absmeyer, you've got to stay looking very comfortable. He's got a 2-second lead over Jordan Sherritt, and it is only one driver that goes through. So these guys are just now racing, I think, just for pride. So Lucchesi, can you do anything about Jordan Sherritt in front of him? Jeff Kruger's up into 6th position, started right at the back of the grid. So great drive from him. Oh, look at that! Lucchesi's been bumped out by Mitchell.
Return of the favour, as I said there, Stash. Have a look at that. He just went straight into the back end of him and then just kept the foot buried and drove almost through the front door there of Lucchesi. So, I think that was Byron Mitchell saying, listen, you gave me a little nudge coming out of Cheetah. Here's the return of the favour. Those two could be in a bit of trouble.
I think so. 1 minute 40.6 from Jason Absmeyer at the moment, so that's not a bad time as well. He's got another lap that he'll be able to even do a quicker lap. He's going to have to try and get into the 140.4, 140.3, which might give him pole position, and considering he's a wild card. So let's see what this lap is, a 140.6 again. So very consistent from Absmeyer.
Absmeyer, I think, is going to keep it all together here. I don't think there's going to be any problems whatsoever. He is on to...
Yep, I've already raced Thomas.
He just smooth and
started 16th, dropped down to 18th after getting involved in a first lap incident.
Nice 124,
and then ended up finishing in 10th, so not too bad.
Now climbs on the loud pedal, 180, 190, 210, little lift, and then through Sunset, 210 into Sunset. That's some great driving. Runs a little bit wide, perfectly touching the curbs there. He must have been taught how to drive this car by Clint Weston, because that's kind of Western lines he's taking through there from the AMP Driving Academy, even though he's decided to run with the Porsche for this one.
Yeah, I tell you, it's a very clinical drive from Jason Absmeyer at the front. Mitchell driving for pride here, right in the back of Grobela. 140.6 from Absmeyer. I'm probably going to put him 4th or 5th on the official grid for the final tomorrow evening as we get into, this is the final lap of this race. And he's definitely the man to get through to that 25 driver shootout tomorrow night in the Solidarity E-Race finale.
Yeah, what a drive here from Jason Absmire. What a return from him as well. From zero to hero, he's gone here, and he's given himself an opportunity to still be in the mix for a top 3 finish tomorrow night at the end of our grand finale. Checkered flag about to come out for him. He's going to take the victory with lights ablaze. It's Absmire from Sherritt. A 140 on that last lap. That is a great last lap there from Absmire. That could potentially shake up a little bit in the overall grid position for tomorrow night. You see guys are stopping in the middle of the circuit as well.
I think it's going to put him on the front row, Greg.
I think that was in the background, Jeff Kruger. Kruger just went to take evasive action on the car and stopped in the middle of the track and hit the wall big time.
I think Absmire's time is going to put him on the front row tomorrow. I don't know if it's pole, but I think he's going to be on the front row.
Yeah, amazing stuff, amazing stuff. But just to run through a few things as well, I think Brendan's been sent our official slide that'll come up just after the result panel here. You can see some guys having some fun in the background too. Absmire taking the win. We'll take the wild card spot for tomorrow night's grand finale. Remember to come and join us for that grand finale at about 6:30, going into a bit of interviews, the qualifying session that gets the drivers back up and into warm-up positions, and then, of course, into a 10-minute sprint race and a 20-minute mini enduro, which will be part and parcel of the grand finale. So there you have Absmire as the winner. We don't need to worry anything about the back end, of course, because unfortunately they don't count.
Right,
but Sherritt got second, Grobler third, and a great drive there from them. 141.1, I think that was earlier on in the free practice session. But we're just waiting for that slide to come up as well, because we do also have to announce the semi-final winners of tonight's competition, because each of them will be getting from AfriHost an incredible $500. So well done to Charles Wilkin. I think it's Shaw, but Charles Wilkin, he'll be happy with that. For $500, you can make a mistake on my name anytime. Rob Whiting, Zahir Esther, and Alaric Enslin taking the heat wins in semi-final 1, 2, 3, and 4, respectively, in the first bit of live action
well done, Jason,
from the Solidarity E-Race here tonight. And Sasha Martinengo, I think we motored you, brother.
I tell you, that was so much fun, Greg. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I actually cannot wait for tomorrow night. You don't ever wish days away, even though in lockdown, you know, you say, can this please hurry up? I cannot wait for tomorrow night's racing. I think it's going to be amazing.
Well, I think everybody out there that joined us on all the various platforms via YouTube, and the E-Racing YouTube channel, via E-Racing's Facebook page, the Solidarity E-Racing Facebook page. I think we went out on your page, on Greg Maloney, the voice of choice as well. So F1 Sasha, voice of choice, ILEB. It also went out on Universal Motorsport. So a massive thanks to everybody for sharing it. Please go at home, tell all your friends about us. Like and share these posts so that we can create a lot of hype on social media and on all media platforms so that we can keep doing this. Otherwise, the sponsors aren't going to be coming back. And a massive thanks to AfriHost, Data Science Corporation, Pure Storage, and NEC Global for all of their support for this event. And, of course, to all our associate sponsors who come on board to help us out with some of the prizes that we're going to be giving to these drivers. Well earned after tonight's action, and certainly well earned after tomorrow night's action, that is going to be probably even better than what we saw tonight.
Guys to finish.
Yeah, it's just been wonderful, and thanks for all of the comments. So many people here posting comments. I hope you enjoyed it as much as we did, Greg. It's been terrific fun, and Brendan and all the other guys doing the technical side as well. Been terrific fun. Really privileged to be part of it.
Now, one comment I want to just chuck at you there, Sash, which came from, of course, Fat Man Racing's Stuart Mack. He just dropped in a comment there saying, it was awesome to see the first live motorsport coverage in South Africa that he's seen in ages. And incredibly, it came from a computer game.
Yeah. we listen, at this stage, we'll take what we can get. So I'm happy with what's going on at the moment.
Yeah, we had the Emerald Speed Festival earlier in the year. We had the 9-hour last year, but of course, at this level, it's great to have it. And once again, a massive thanks to Sasha Martinengo for joining us and being part of the team. Sash, your insight and of course the experience that you've given is
okay. Enough of them. Let's get some racing going, since now I actually feel like having a bit of a drive. Yeah, so we're just going to cross-post their stream. I'm not going to be streaming myself. So we're just going to have their stream going on the stream. I might jump in late tomorrow night and do a post Solidarity race stream if you guys want to join in. And we'll see there. I'm going to speak to Richie, the guy who organizes this. Let's get him to set up a server for us, so then everyone can just jump in, and then I'll put on a password, which could be pretty fun. Barry Williams with the follow. Pedro Rosa, thank you also for the follow. Getting those follows up, guys, slowly, slowly, slowly. That's pretty good. Alright, I'm going to do this quick little race because I feel like having a race, because I really didn't do much racing today. So let's see how it goes. So yeah, tune in tomorrow night. You will see a little bit more going on here. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you think. Let me know what they can improve. I do know the guys who are organizing it, so we can try and help them improve their show. I think it went pretty well. Obviously, in these crazy times and like setting it up in less than a week, I think they did a damn good job. So let's see how we go. Okay, I'm going to hide these sponsors for now because they're not actually my sponsors. Let's get going. Thanks everybody for sticking around on my channel as well. You guys could have been watching the main one, but you decided to stick here and watch me, and I hope you enjoyed my race. I enjoyed it. That first half of it was really cool. I think I'll even make a clip of it and upload the whole race, which will be quite cool. Why does this session start so friggin' long? Right, death on the first corner. Let's see how that goes. Indeed, indeed, indeed. Let's see how this goes. Look, what? Did I choose the wrong setup here? Yes, I did. Why is ABS so heavy on this car? Mechanical grip, fuel strategy, 39 laps. I don't know what the fuel will be like here because it's a 15-minute race. Let's drop that down to 4, and that should be fine. Alright. Okay, let's quickly just fix this, because I'm sure there's a monster delay on this now. Right here, ladies and gentlemen, we're doing our second race. Don't worry, Thomas, just re-watch it. You can skip forward to when you... Oh, look at my hair. It's terrible. You can skip forward to where you see me, and should be good. I don't know why my textures aren't loading in properly. Oh, there they come in slowly. Right, first corner, smasheroonie. Let's go first corner, super crash. This is the wrong car for this track. The best car for this track is the Mercedes-Benz. It's not the outright fastest, but it is fast in a straight line. I'm gonna work on my...
Green light, go, go, go.
Already some death. Also death.
Car on the right.
Braking at 200 for no death.
Clear on the right.
Lots of death around here.
Car on the right. Clear on the right. Slow car ahead.
We're okay.
Yellow flag, be careful.
Don't worry about it, Thomas. I'm just very happy that I actually, did okay. Kept fairly clean. Did myself fairly proud.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
Oh. Bit argy-bargy there.
Yellow flag ahead. Watch out.
Come on, guy.
There's a slow car up ahead.
That's kind of how you get through there.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
Bit messy. We got there in the end.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Looks like me and this guy are gonna have a ding-dong battle the whole race. Seems to brake very poorly.
Car on the left.
Just seem to be able to go deeper into these corners than it. Like that.
The car is exiting the pits. Watch out. Car on the left. Clear on the left.
It's kind of
Car on
bumping
the
there.
left. Clear on the left. Car on the right. Clear on the right. Yellow flag. Be careful there. Slow car ahead. Car on the left. Clear on the left.
What's that guy saying? Gonna go for the dive? Don't go for the dive, my friend. Up to 10th. Why is this guy trying to overtake someone? Doesn't help.
Brother mate, this has been your personal best. Car on the right. Clear on the right. Car on the right. Clear on the right.
Attack! Attack! Attack!
Thank you very much, Chen Yuing. I hope I'm saying that right. Oh, that guy murdered himself. Oh my word.
Severe damage at the front. There's a slow car.
I murdered myself. That didn't go so good. That kind of just happens, though. Yeesh. See, I'm glad that didn't happen in the big race. It would have just been a little bit embarrassing. Ooh, Kyle Army. Sweet. Ooh, and we're starting in last place. You see, this is what I wanted the whole time. And then we friggin' don't get nothing. That's all good. Longest race. 20-minute race. We're doing a replay just for you, Thomas. We're doing a replay of the race. Let's see here. What are we doing? Let's try and get some shares out. Why the higgly hell not? Also, my phone is just about to die. Thanks everybody for sticking around there.
Keep this order in your mind.
Get a couple of shares going.
Keep this order in your mind.
Ooh, lots of shares coming through. That's pretty sweet. Thank you, share bots. Now we wait. Okay, I'm in basically last place, which is exactly where I want to be. How much fuel do I have in here? 37. That was enough, eh? Yeah. That should be enough, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, repeat of the race, even though it was a 16-minute race. I thought it was going to be a 20-minute race. It was a bit wonky with how long the race was. And I think tomorrow they're having a 20-lap race, which I think is too short. They should do it longer. Have a 30-lap race for the final. Only take about an hour. Oh, Jason smashed it in that wildcard race. Guys are all too fast for me. But we keep on trucking. So let's drive against guys we actually know how to drive against.
Going double file.
Gotta get some heat into those wheelies of mine.
Green line, give it all you got.
Ooh, Hollywood Jaguar. You don't see too many of those. Great car though. Okay, last to first run. Let's see how we do. Already a spinner. Can't for the guy here.
Clear on the right. Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Tiptoe around the outside. Worked pretty well. Things around 200, which is not great, but it's okay. Wrong here. Damn you, Nissan.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Up to the 13th.
Fantastic development this is.
Thank you, Benjamin Louis Kruger, for the like. Welcome to the stream. This is probably the longest stream I've ever done, I think. Started at 7. Maybe not. It's only 9:45. Feels like one of the longest streams. Maybe because I haven't been doing that much in it. Oh man, what happened there? That was very unavoidable. Only that Lexus knew what I've just seen. Jürgen, welcome. Where is this guy going?
Clear on the left. Car on the right. Clear on the right.
Yes.
Yellow flag ahead. Be careful. Well done, mate. The fastest step so far. on the left.
Those are idiots, really. You see there's someone on the inside and they just keep going towards you.
Well done, mate.
43.7, that's okay.
Car on the
Oops.
left. Clear on the left.
Alright,
Got some light damage on the front of the car.
not bad. Pity. Always get light damage.
Warning for exceeding track limits.
Yeah, that definitely was my fault. It was a bit of a bomb. I was talking about the previous one where... Yeah. I wasn't trying to overtake him though. I was actually just braking on my normal line, and I think he just braked a bit earlier. Took too many bites out of that corner.
You're gaining on the car heading 72. Well done, mate. Personal best.
Nice gaggle of cars ahead here. Let's see if we can join this party. Let's catch these guys. I look Porsches for days.
We're at the halfway mark. Keep pushing.
Come on, turn, car. Hello, Twitch streamer. Oh, please don't hit me. That was very close. Up to 9th place. Oh Cannavaro, oh Capitano. I don't know why I'm singing Italian songs, but what can you do? Oh, went wide.
Warning for exceeding track limits.
Ooh, a 42. There we go.
The fastest lap so far. Car on the left. Clear on the left. Yellow flag in sector 3.
Good race so far. into that last corner.
Attack! Attack! Attack!
Sick and slow doing all of this. Gary Richardson, thank you very much for the follow. This Twitch dude, all the advertising at the moment, man. It's not what I wanted.
Attack! Attack! Attack!
Oh. Uh-oh.
Fantastic development this is!
Thank you, Hassani. Thank you, Prince.
Car on the left.
Ooh, I
Three
don't know
wide.
where that guy's
All
going.
clear. Clear on the left.
I'd go in for the dive bomb there.
Car on the left. Okay, the leader is on the final lap now. Give it all you can. Clear on the left.
Ah, man. That was unfortunate. That was my bad. Twitch guy's gonna be swearing a lot. My bad. Sloppy race by me here.
The leader has finished the race. Final warning for exceeding track limits.
Oh no, I've got a drive through. Oh no. It's probably going to be a 5-second penalty.
Alright, checkered flag, good job, you did the best you could. I'll bring the car back.
If I can clear this drive-through.
Fantastic development this is.
My bad. If I drive through.
Fantastic development this is.
80-second penalty. That sucks.
Fantastic development this is.
Sure. Yeah. He deserved it. Nah, he didn't deserve it. And it's the one thing I do find with online racing is that I'm pretty sure in a normal race that lighter tap. Should we do one more? Should we do one more? Oh, not Barcelona. Nobody wants to do Barcelona. My bad, guys. Sorry about that. And then I got an 80-second penalty anyway, so it wasn't like I was going to do good. Oh, now I'm going to be like banned from all the good servers. Boo. Barcelona. Spa. Monza.
Attack, attack, attack.
30-minute race at Zandvoort's a bit long. Oh, should we do a panorama? This is gonna suck. But we may as well end on a sucky track. Last race of the evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for sticking so long. Really do appreciate it. You guys rock. Wonder if I'd gone through straight away, if that would have counted. Only 9 people on this track. Shows you how many people don't like this track. Hashtag racing, hashtag. Prince knows what's up. We bump TC up a notch.
Fantastic development this is.
Should do the solidarity race here next time. Tommy Stechmeyer, thank you very much. Rocco Makia, Adam Harazi, thank you very much for the likes and follows, guys. Ryan Waghorn, I don't know if I saw you earlier, but thank you very much. That's too late with the 150.
Session is now.
Right, last race of the evening, ladies and gentlemen. For a real long stream. But it's been good. What do you about that last race, man? There's some really fantastic racing in the middle there. Visit New South Wales. Pretty good looking game this, I must say. It looks quite nice.
Attack! Attack! Attack!
All right, here we go. Can everybody drive there or only with invitation or anything else? What are you talking about? Jürgen? That is why we practice. Last race of the evening, going to be a mess. Let's bump the TC up a notch. Are you talking about the solidarity race? You can race if you enter, but the entries are closed for now. They did the semi-finals tonight and they're doing the finals tomorrow. But they should probably have another race like it sometime soon.
Stay double file.
Yeah, this is also an open server. And there are a billion people who crash into absolutely everything here. Especially on this track. It is the worst.
Green light, go, go, go. Car on the right. Clear on the right.
Somehow didn't die there. This guy's just sitting in the middle of the lane.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
That was me again.
Car on the right.
That was
Clear
me.
on the right.
That was all me.
Got some light damage on the front.
That was all me. That was all me. That was all me. Alright guys, I think I'm going to call it an end to this evening. I'm obviously just causing more chaos than anything's worthwhile. So thanks everybody for joining. Apologies for all the crashes, but that is why we crash, so we learn. So in the good races, like we did earlier tonight, we don't crash and we actually represent ourselves pretty well. So thanks, guys. Join in again tomorrow. We'll be cross-posting and hosting the finals of the Solidarity E-Race. So be sure to join in then. But thank you very much, everybody. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye.